I know you heard me on the radio. Flexing. She loved the sound of my voice, it's the best thing. Daydreaming of the jazz all day. Pick up the phone late night with Larry K.
Fury fam, welcome to another episode of Larry, Lucci G, and Shake. I got to change this banner, which I'm going to do in the offseason. We got a lot of cool stuff coming up for you in the offseason, by the way. I just talked to the fellas backstage. We're going to have a meeting, make sure we provide good content for you all offseason. The season does not stop for the Phin-Addict Fury channel, nor does it stop for the talented dudes that are a part of this channel and the content that we bring you. So continue to stay tuned. We're going to continue with our regularly scheduled programming until after the Super Bowl. So this is going to keep going on. Nene, what's up in the building? Fury fan member, what's good? We're going to talk very briefly tonight. You're going to hear from the guys, and then we're going to go to call-ins. And let's see what happens. I am, you saw me more, and you saw me go into my emo stage and just be a complete, Debbie Downer and all that stuff after we lost to Tennessee. You saw a lot of stuff go down. You saw me kind of lose it, once we lost to Baltimore, and then Buffalo was the gut-wrenching stab through the heart. And, this playoff, once again, a wild card loss, put the nail in the coffin, so to speak. And so this is where we're at. I can see the light. What up? No jumper. What's good? Nene, what's up? MCJB, Horace, D, all these people. D-Rod, what's up? Dolphinier, what's good, everybody? Welcome in. If you haven't done so yet, click that like button. We need to get the likes up. Carrie D's in the building. Fury fam, right here, Carrie D. Let's go. Let's go. We got Michael K in. Another Fury fam is in the building tonight, man. Fury fam is in the building tonight. The members are in the building. You got to love that. The members are in the building tonight. If you are not a member yet, you can become a member by clicking join right under. It does a lot to help the channel, helps the channel keep going, helps the channel get rocking. And we appreciate your support a heck of a lot. You can hit the super like. We're highlighting super chat comments tonight. But make sure you hit subscribe. Make sure you join. Make sure you click like. Make sure you share the video. And make sure that you hit that super chat tonight. We're trying to keep things rolling, keep the momentum on. Now, look, I went through my morning and I went through my critical analysis. Now, you saw me yesterday on the live show. And by the way, again, you can get my weekly live show on an audio-only podcast if you want to listen in the car, listen at work, whatever. It's just called the Phin-Addict Fury Podcast with Larry K. It's available on almost every major podcasting platform. So just type that in Google or whatever podcast or music app you use. Just type it in. You can hear me. But we had a rough go of it, man. And I was listening to Omar today, and I was listening to Omar and Poupart, who do a good job. You can tell, like, I'm not only a content creator, but I'm a content consumer. Okay. I like to consume the content of other Dolphins podcasters and other journalists and whatnot. And I listened to Omar and Poupart today, and one of the interesting things that Omar said was, actually Poupart said it, was that we are picking at number 21 in the draft this year. And we didn't have a pick last year. But that was the same number we would have picked last year if we had a pick. So we are in the same exact position we were at the end of last season. And we were told all offseason that if Tua stays healthy, that's the key to success. If Tua can stay healthy, then, we are going to go as far as we want to go. And we're finally going to have, the season of a generation defining season. We're finally going to break through that barrier and win a playoff game. That's not even what they were talking about. I'm being kind by saying win a playoff game. The goal, the hype, the way the roster was built, and what they told us about Tua being healthy was at least a title game, whether we win or lose. Winning a playoff game is moving the goalpost, but I'll allow it. But despite Tua staying healthy the entire time, despite Tua playing in the playoff game, and I'm highlighting member comments. So if you become a member, I'll highlight your comment as often as possible. Talking to Lucci. So we were told that if Tua stays healthy, we're going to have a better shot to go farther than we did last year at a bare minimum. But we are picking in the exact same spot. We went no farther than last year. Tua played in. Kohler in the building. What's up, my brother? Tua played in the playoff game, and we still wound up with the same pick, the 21st pick in the league. So nothing improved in the win-loss column. I mean, the win-losses improved, but the final result of the season, which was a wild card road loss, is the same result we got this year, which is the same result we had last year. Nothing has changed. Despite the change in the win-loss column, despite the stats and the Pro Bowl and all that stuff, the end result, the goal we're all chasing, the goal that we all want, has not changed from last season to this season. And I've made my peace and talked my junk and done what I had to do. And I'm going to keep doing it all off season because I'm not just going to sit back and let these false narratives fester the way they do every off season. To the best of my ability, Mountie, what's good, bro? To the best of my ability, I'm going to fight those false narratives. And to the best of my ability, I'm going to stay on this microphone and talk through the offseason with you guys. Dolphins, football, offseason activities, drafts, football in general, whatever you want to talk about. That's what the members are supporting the channel for. That's what you guys support the channel for. And that's what we're going to do on this channel. That being said, we have some stuff to talk about tonight. Some reporters are reporting that Christian Wilkins may get the franchise tag. That's going to be a $20 million hit. And I don't think we have the cap space to accommodate that necessarily. So I don't know that he's coming back. We have indications that Tua and his agent are going to begin talking as soon as practicable with the Miami Dolphins front office. And thank you. I appreciate that, Color, man. I'm staying. I'm staying this offseason. With the Miami Dolphins front office, and we do expect Tua to get some kind of offer at least. Whether it's a deal or not, we'll see. I don't necessarily know that the Dolphins, just because they said they wanted to, sign Tua long term, that's the same as somebody saying, I want him to be here. I want to be here, but not necessarily committing to being there. So we'll see. We will see. And Cap, what's good, my bro? We got a lot of heavy hitters in the chat today, man. We will see what kind of offer they make to it. Just because they want to sign him long term doesn't necessarily mean they want to offer him the bag, as people call it, 50 million, 45. They might offer him 35. I don't know. It's his whether he takes it or not is up to him. Whether he takes it or not is up to him. That's what happened with Wilkins. They made him a deal they thought was fair, and he didn't want it. He didn't take it. So he bet on himself, as Greer said. And now he's positioned himself to do well in free agency. We have a lot of other people on this team, though, besides just Tua and just Wilkins and these big names. We got a lot of people on this team. We got Holland on his last year of the deal, $1.8 million he's set to make this year. Got Andrew Van Ginkel, who's a favorite of Vic Fangio, who I think is a fan favorite, who realistically could get signed to a long-term deal that would maybe be cap-friendly. We've got X, who's got no guaranteed money on his deal, pretty much said his goodbyes. And he's pretty much heading out as far as we can tell. So you have some needs on this team, too. Raekwon, you got some guys who aren't going to be here. And now you've gotten Hunt, too. True Blazer, thank you for that. You've got a guy in Robert Hunt who has earned the right to test the market, who has earned the right to get a big contract. Now, which one of these guys stays on with Miami because they like the organization, they like the area, and they get an offer they feel is fair? And how many of these guys go out and test the market remains to be seen. But this is a business, and there's two things to keep in mind when you're talking about this. The team has to deal with the cap. The team has to deal with those considerations, and the players have to deal with their agendas. And they may not want to be here. They might not be as enamored with the organization and the team as you are. They may not love South Florida, which I don't imagine why anybody wouldn't, because it's a great area. I don't know. They might not think the organization's headed in the great direction. They might have another, organization that they're interested in going to. And Two Aside says, Larry, no offense. However, agents are shysters. Not all lawyers fit that description. Thank you for that, Mike. They will try to get as close to the latest signings. As a Bills fan, I hope he gets paid. Yeah, of course. All these guys are going to try to maximize their payouts, and you can't blame them. They're businessmen first, because the team is business first. That's how the team is going to be. I'm here to tell you that, unless we trade some draft capital and some players for some guys, unless we strike it very, very big in the draft, or guys that haven't made an impact yet, like a Cam Smith, make drastic jumps from their rookie to their sophomore seasons, this team, by all indications, as an early prognostication from me, this team, by all indications, is not going to be quite as stacked on paper as it was this year. So these guys, these Tyreek Hills, this Tua Tagovailoas, the Jalen Ramseys, these guys are going to be expected to carry more of the load, in my opinion, because we are not going to have as stacked a team all around next year as we did this year. And football players tell you all the time, you have to just wait for the next play, only look forward, only control what you can control. We can't control anything because we're just fans, but we can reflect on the season. We can talk about the season, and we can be disappointed. I will just say one more thing is that, we missed a huge opportunity. We missed a huge opportunity. We were set up in a position where we had a realistic shot as number 1 seed or number 2 seed, which would get us multiple playoff games in our own building, which is where we play best, with an inside track toward the Super Bowl when a few of the best quarterbacks in the AFC had gone down this year. That's going to sting for a while. And you can't control it. You can't go back. You can't cry over spilt milk. But it's something we should pay attention to. And Carrie makes a good point. The weather's great. The taxes, are great. But when you have a team that you're uncertain can get over the hump, you might hesitate to go there. But you have a player-friendly coach, et cetera, et cetera. Then again, how long does this regime stay intact? We will see. But I don't even know that we're going to be major players in the free agent market because we don't have a ton of money to spend. We may be bigger players in the trade market trying to get younger guys on rookie deals or things of that nature. Maybe trading away to get more picks in the middle rounds to try to bolster our roster in that way. But I wouldn't put anything I wouldn't put anything past Greer. If he's shown one thing, it's his ability to wheel and deal and make things happen where we didn't think things were happening initially. So those are some areas to pay attention to. And people are going to have their opinions, and people are going to go about it in that way. And that's that, man. I've said most of what I can say about this team in the last couple days. So, there's not a ton more to really speak to at this point. But I do know somebody who has a lot to say. And I've heard him. He was ready to go on a revenge tour. He wanted a revenge tour. He went everywhere to every platform to advocate and say, we need a revenge tour. He had an icon advertising and saying this is going to be a revenge tour. This man spends all this time working his ass off, studying, and this is what he gets from his team. And I'll tell you what I saw. This is not a joke. I mean, it's a joke in general, but it's an actual true story. I was at the ShopRite, which is a local supermarket in the heart of Jersey, on Sunday. And all of a sudden I see this car. I'm walking right past, and sure enough, it's got Dolphins headrests. And then I see, it so happens, this lady's coming out of the store, and she's got a Dolphins shopping bag. Because in Jersey, they have this law, you can't have any plastic bags So you got to bring your own bag to the store. She has a Dolphins bag. And she has a leather Dolphins purse. And I had to talk to her and say, what the hell happened? And she was very depressed. And it made me think about this guy who deals with like the nice old ladies at the customer service counter all the time. The Pall Mall King, the star-studded student, the angry, what he calls now and has been coined as the negative, the red-headed assassin who wears his heart on his sleeve and doesn't gonna apologize to anybody. And shout out, I know, Mike, that's funny. And Nene, yeah, they don't have plastic bags as of like 2 years ago. But I don't want to wait anymore for this dude to come up and tell you what's on his mind. G.
It's Greg, the negative Dolphin fan here. How y'all doing? I'm just gonna come up here and be honest. This is coming from a passionate fan, but all these Tua geeks, which is my new name for Tua Non and Tua Ears, is Tua geeks. I'm a negative fan. Larry, just let me know. I'm gonna try my best not to yell. I'm gonna try my best not to swear.
You can yell. Just try your best with the four to limit them. Use them strategically.
Let me know when I use two. Just to throw it out there. Let's start with the head man at top. Christopher Aloysius Greer III. This guy has mismanaged his cap, has mismanaged his roster. This guy has so-called built the greatest team in 20 years, which was the case at the start of the year. Mismanaged all of it. No center depth. When Connor Williams went out, we went with Lee Eichenberg. Lee Eichenberg did play pretty good. No depth there. So you're trying to lean Eichenberg. I'm a fan of Lean Eichenberg. I think he did a good job. But still, you have no center depth. We drafted Cam Smith, our defensive coordinator. This fraud wants to trot out Eli Apple instead of giving this guy a shot. So that was a wasted of a draft pick as of right now. Cam Smith, don't get me wrong, he's a stud. He's a stud. But he didn't play, so I can't call him a stud. Channing Tindall, where's his playing? We tried out Duke Riley out there. By the way, I don't know if anyone's seen a clip of Duke Riley missing that tackle on Patty Mahomes. That infuriated me. So and then Christopher Greer, this is another thing that makes me angry. He's talking about Christian Wilkins. He earned the right to be a free agent. He doesn't deserve to get paid. We drafted this man. We developed this man, and we're going to just let him walk out the door and pay someone who we're going to talk about in a minute. And then he wants to have the urge. He wants to have the urge to say, oh, we need to trade our first-round pick. Why are we trading our first-round pick, Christopher? You want to go trade for a veteran who's 28 and plus? No, we need that first-round pick to get younger. We need depth. There's talented tackles in the first round that we could get to replace Ron Armstead, who's playing in retirement. Now let's move on to Mike McGeek. This guy, you can argue, yes, McGeek does have some bad play calls here and there. He does. I mean, let's call for what it is. It was bad play calls,
yeah,
by McGeek. But let me tell you something. Oh, Tua geeks are going to come at me for this one.
Oh,
Mike
boy.
McGeek is not a head coach, ladies and gentlemen. This guy is not a head coach. You've seen in Hard Knocks. You've seen on the field. Every time we are getting our asses handed to us by the Baltimores, the Buffaloes, all these elite teams, we're all over there laughing and giggling and having a birthday party. And Mike McGeek is just sitting there like Adam Gase, flipping through his playbook, showing no emotion. And you know what? You two geeks crucify this man. Brian Flores is a better head coach. I don't care I'm Brian Flores.
Whoa, shots fired,
I
bro.
love you. Brian Flores, we need you. If we had Brian Flores, we would win the Super Bowl this year. Mike McGeek is not good. You know who Mike McGeek reminds me of? He's like that nerd in high school, right? That's trying to fit in, trying to be the popular kid. He'll hang out with the popular kids. They'll tease him. They'll take his car and use it. They'll take his house. And then eventually when the police show up, they all blame him. And that's what's going to happen to Mike McGeek. He is the fall guy. He will be fired if this doesn't work out. Tua Tagovailoa.
I love that analogy. That makes such sense. And they will fire him.
I don't care, Tua geeks. This guy is mid. He is good against the bad teams. He is a top 10 quarterback. But against the elite teams, he falls like a lawn chair. This is what I was telling my friends. I don't know if I said it on YouTube because I wasn't back then. I was telling my friends, Tua Tagovailoa. He'll beat on the Vanderbilt. He'll beat on the Citadel. He'll beat on the Mercer. He'll beat on all these bad garbage college teams. But when he plays teams like the LSU's with Joe Burrow and the Clemsoners of the world, he folded like a lawn chair in the biggest moment. This guy is mid. I'm willing to let him play in that 5th-year option. If we extend him, it's Ryan Tannehill all over again. I'm not going through with this nonsense again. Who are we going to get, Greg? I don't know. That's for Christopher Greer and Mike McGeek to figure out. I don't know who we can get. There's some options that I like, some options I don't like, but it's up for those geeks to figure it out. Tua looked like a straight bum in Kansas City. I think his brother is better. We should draft him. Honestly. And now Stephen Ross. This guy is the problem. He's been the problem since day one. He is content with mid, just like these Tua geeks. They're content with mid, and us real fans have to suffer through this clown shoe garbage. At the end of the day, these Tua geeks, they're only happy when Tua gets paid. They're only going to be cheering when he gets paid. If Tua was to get cut tomorrow, they all want to be here.
Yes. They wouldn't be fans, bro. They're not Dolphins fans. They're Tua fans. It doesn't make sense.
They're content with mid, and I have been I've been seeing this all my life. I'm done with the mid. I want elite. I want greatness. And Tyreek wants to tell me to have faith in this team. Let me tell you something, Tyreek. I've had faith in this team 21 years of my life. Maybe not 21 because I didn't start following 08, but it doesn't matter. I've had faith all those years. And what happens? We are mid 6-10, 7-9, 8-8, 9-7, 10-6 wild card and get our asses handed to us. I can't have faith with this team no more. They can start 8-0 next year. I'll still come up here not happy. I'll tell you we'll lose the next 9 games, not make the playoff. I am done with mid. I'm done with the Tua geeks BS. I'm done with their stupid narratives. I'm done with their excuses. Oh, the defense on the injuries. Shut up about the defense. That retirement home of a defense Saturday only allowed 19 points in the 4th quarter. And boy wonder our quarterback and that McGeek offense didn't show up. They didn't show up for 4 quarters of that game.
Not at all, bro. Gee, what do you think of the exercise of what if Mahomes was on the Dolphins and Tua was on the Chiefs? I mean, you could just tell.
We would have won. And every time, I'm going to bring this up too. Every time with Tua, every time we win a game, it's Tua did this, Tua did that, Tua did this, Tua did that. But every time we lose, oh, it's Mike McGeek's play calling. It's Mike McGeek didn't run the ball enough. It's the defense. I'm done with your BS excuses. How about instead of we lose the game, it's not the defense, it's Boy Wonder as your quarterback. Get him out, get Greer out, get McGeek out, start over. But it's not going to happen. It's not happening. McGeek's coming back. Greer's coming back. Tua's going to get paid 7 years, $120 million. It's all because of that, man, because he's content with mid. He built a racetrack, tennis courts, and a new roof over the stadium to make it glamorous. But we all know what's on the inside. Mid and clown shoe garbage, and I'm done.
I love it. I love it. You got me hyped as hell to bring up these friggin' guys so we could go into some more talk and do some more things. Shake Money Man.
What's going on?
What the hell's up, bro? How you feeling, bro?
Me?
Yeah, how you feeling, bro?
Morning, Your Majesty. It is another beautiful day in Zamunda.
Yeah, there's always you know me, it's always another beautiful day in Zamunda.
Damn right.
And by the way, I want to give a quick shout out to Battlehawk. I know he's a big fan of the Brian Cox card. He loves it when I bring it up.
Best card ever.
For you.
Great card. Great card. Shake, you got a little something for us today?
The good. The bad. The ugly.
What you got, bro?
Well, here, the good is this drink.
I like it. What are you drinking? Is that Is that back to your pimp juice? What is that?
And no, it's pineapple and Kettle One.
Okay.
That's the good. You know,
Mhm.
gotta get a good drink.
He said that's the good.
Okay.
That's about all we got, right?
This drink is good. I don't know. What do you want from me? Go to the next one. Next slide. Do it live.
The Miami Dolphins as a whole. I look at the end of the day, it was a whole team. I think we you know what I'm saying. It is what it is.
But we're not a complete team. Just like that's that Miami right there.
But look, the defense, except for the defense, look at the end of the day, the defense with some patchwork, you know, they did a lot better than what you know, you think they would do. You know what I'm saying? So and the offense, the reason you put on the offense is because you minus the center, you had everybody in the offense there.
Yeah.
Bro, and you know,
like,
I'm venturing to say this has kind of opened my eyes a little bit. And at the end of the day, we'll have a back and forth discussion about Tua. But here's what my take is. And open my eyes. If you look back at the Jets, who wasn't there? Hill. He spread the ball more. He had 30 points. I think that I know, regardless of the Jets or not, that tells you right there where the ball. Why this offense is so inept. They're forcing that shit to Tyreek Hill. Just like with we seen this with the Cleveland Browns with Baker Mayfield and Odell Beckham Jr. The second he gets injured, the team starts playing better. Coincidence? You know what I mean? And all of a sudden, Odell Beckham's putting out these tweets and this and that. And you know, now Odell Beckham has to sing a different tune because this is his last chance. He can't do that crap what he did in Cleveland, in Baltimore, because now it's not going to fly anymore because he's at he's at the end of the road. But at the end of the day, I understand you want to feature your offense, but at the end of the day, once he's out of the equation, he needs to find more. This offense needs to, because at the end of the day, look, we can't control this team, but you know, I'm hoping that they find a way to utilize other players on this team, except trying to be Tyreek Hill central. Because once he's out of the equation, this thing's on freaking this team is on a station bike. You know, one of the at the gym.
Yeah, on stationary bikes. Yeah, just pedaling, going nowhere. Shake.
So we need to figure out. Say, listen, Hill. You need to forget these 2,000 yards, because here's the deal. In Kansas City, we didn't get all these yards that you're getting in Miami, but guess what? You did get a ring. And at the end of the day, those stats are for the name in the back, not the name in the front, and that's what we're trying to do. Yeah. The bad. This is my last. The good, the bad, the ugly.
Mm-hmm.
That's bad.
True.
All right, now let's go for the ugly. And the ugly is Saturday night watching Taylor Swift do that weird dance. I don't know what the hell she was doing in the skybox, but damn it, man.
I almost threw something at the television, but I didn't. I had to keep my composure.
No, look at the same look. I don't know what it is. It's horrible, but captivating. It's kind of like you're like that mouse they're about to get eaten by the snake.
I'm just hypnotized. She had that 87 like varsity jacket. I was like, cut me, but it's too much glitz and glamour there. And then I think she was doing swag surfing, whatever the hell that is. That's what I was told by a younger person in my living room. So I don't know. I thought it was weird.
Yeah. It was weird. And then of course, no more Miami Dolphins football.
That's always the worst part of this year. And by the way, shout outs, man. We got a $4.99 out here, and he tried to burn his Tua poster, but it was too windy and it was too cold in KC. I wish you did. And then, obviously no fire hazards or whatever, but in a contained environment, if you would like to burn something, go for it. Donate to the channel, my brother. We really appreciate you, bro.
Larry, I forgot to bring this up too. I am a negative fan because I hate when we make the playoffs and lose. Meanwhile, this weekend I got to watch teams like the Buffalo Bills, the Kansas City Chiefs playing a division round, which is something Miami hasn't played in 24 years to a team. I just
Man,
want
also
in the
also
second.
another
Dylan Miller
ugly is
try and get his
one of
phone.
my
Your
friends.
boy Lucci's gonna try to help you burn that thing. So
Yeah.
Also,
Can we
one of
get
my
to the
other uglies
second
is
round,
when I go to my
please?
Facebook page. When I go to my Facebook page and I look at my friend Tyler Bruto's Facebook page picture, yeah, that's real ugly.
it's rough, man.
What's going
It's
on, Todd?
rough. Oh, over here, two aside, trying to drop some stuff over here.
Oh, hey, listen. Listen. If the Chiefs win, I know this is torture, but this is for the football gods. I told I'm gonna listen to a whole Taylor Swift album.
What are you gonna do? Oh my God!
I
He's
If
hope
the
willing
Chiefs
to
win.
take one for the team. Do you hear that? Shake Money is gonna listen to an entire Taylor Swift album just because Kelsey and the Chiefs take down the Buffalo Bills in the Western New York tundra up there.
Yep.
The battle of the cold weather teams, man. It's going to be interesting to say the least.
I hope
I'm
Buffalo
excited
wins.
for these playoffs with these different matchups. I got to be honest with you. There's some interesting matchups out here.
I honestly, if the Bills were to win the Super Bowl, I'd be somewhat happy. So the geeks in our fan base can stop making fun of them.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because, that just gives them fodder to just try to stand on. But I don't know. That's a tough thing for a Dolphins fan to say there, G. But, geez, you're fed up. So you're Greg, the negative Dolphins fan.
I'm done with the mid. I want greatness. Something I haven't seen.
Mid, man. We used to call it regs, man. It's the mid.
Listen, at the end of the day, look, the Bills fans will know the Patriots used to own them, and they made fun of the Patriots. At the end of the day, it is what it is. It's a fun thing. Like Michael K, I consider him a friend, and we trash each other's teams, just like Crypto. Crypto is my currency connection buddy. We trash each other's college team. So
yeah,
I mean that's what we do, man.
It happens, bro.
If you take offense to that, then wear a helmet.
Yeah, wear a helmet and watch out when you ride the short bike or the short bus, bro. Because I mean, come on now. And at the end of the day, even me and you we could talk about Wilkins, and then we could all throw ideas around and talk nonsense and whatever else. We got another Fury fan member in the building. Say stats help you win fantasy league games, not games that matter.
100%.
And thank you for being a member, as always, my brother Jason. And Fury fam is in the building in full effect, guys. Click join, click subscribe, because we're gonna bring you Angry Greg. He might crush a pizza on the air. He might eat ice cream. But he'll tell you what he's eating, and he'll make you enjoy it. And you will enjoy it the same way you enjoy watching his team be mid. All right? And, Lucci brought the guns out today. So that's, if there's any ladies on this chat, that's for you.
Yeah.
All right? And Shake's
Give
got
a shout out to Dylan first and foremost.
Out here showing you
Shout
how to
out
drink.
Dylan. Thanks for the super chat.
Yeah, thank you, brother.
And don't worry, guys. Come September, yes, I'll be hating on Tua all off season. But let me
Don't
tell
joke on the food now, Greg. That's not part of the show. That's
September. My Tua jersey, I'll be rocking that every Sunday, hoping we win.
If we win the Super Bowl, I will wear a Tua jersey and do a stupid dance on this show to whatever song the members want me to do. They could take a member vote. It could be the dumbest song in the world. It could be one of those stupid dances that people do. I will do that.
If Tua wins us a Super Bowl, I'll take back everything. I'll write an apology letter.
Yeah, and we'll.
I'll read it on air too.
Miss Fins, what up? You're out here. She says she recommends the 89 CD. Battlehawks is saying that Larry Chubb stinks. I don't know who Larry Chubb is, but I don't know. Let me know who he is, and we'll see what goes on with that.
Hey, but real quickly though, one thing I do want to touch upon is the one thing I like about Greer. I do like about Greer is that you brought it up. Wilkins wanted more money, but he's one of those guys that's steadfast at the price. So if Tua's camp is asking for more money than what he thinks he's worth, Chris Greer ain't gonna have it. Well, you know what? You could just pay on your 5th-year option.
Well, I'm gonna let Luchi talk in a second, but I wanted to say this because I was thinking about it yesterday. I kind of got on this thing that everybody has 2 ears, 2 eyes, and a brain, and that's all you need to look at football and understand some basic truths and have some objectivity. We can do stats all day, we can run around, we can ring around the rosy and all the other nonsense that people do. But if you got 2 eyes, 2 ears, and a brain, I don't care if you're a casual, I don't care if you're an analyst, I don't care if you're a beat writer, I don't care if you played the game, I don't care if you watch the film, I don't care if you don't watch the film, I don't care if you're intelligent, I don't care if you're not, I don't care what you say, I don't care what shows you go on, I don't care about any of it. We all got 2 eyes, 2 ears, and a brain. And if you got that, I don't know if everybody has a brain out there, but I know we do, and most people do. And you could see what's going on. And the fact is, I said this yesterday, Chris Greer has 2 eyes, 2 ears, and a brain. Mike McDaniel has 2 eyes, 2 ears, and a brain. And they got to know what the limitations of this QB are. So the fact that he said we want him here playing at a high level for a long time to come, as much as I didn't like that press conference in a lot of ways, that doesn't guarantee that he's calling him up tomorrow and offering him, as the 2 and ears say, the bag. He might not be offering him the bag. He might be offering him a fair contract based on his productivity up to this point, and then it's up to Tua to take it or leave it. So we're gonna see. Tori, what up, my brother? The Den King. He created the Den. He lives where Michael Caine. He's up in Buffalo. He plays a mean bass. He takes some. He's very photogenic. And Tory Day is in the building, man. What up, my brother,
man?
Tory Day?
I tell you, every time I see him, his videos, man, he be giving me those Isley vibes, man.
Yeah, I like that, bro. You're right. And Tuaside says he knows Wilkins is worth, and he knows they won't give cap room to be overly generous. So he's saying, Michael K's here saying he's going to take care of Wilkins and give Tua a fair deal. I know Jake might have something to say about that, but, we're going to drop the link. We're going to let Lucci go in. But what were you saying, Jake?
No, look, at the end of the day, I've been like this. Look, again, is Wilkins a good player? Yes. Is he sap or is he elite? No. I think he's a great player, but I don't think he's elite. I don't think he's that Aaron Donald.
You're right.
I don't think, you know what I mean? So.
I hear you, bro. I hear you.
Or Aaron Donald? No,
I'm curious about this offseason now. Now I'm out of fan mode where I'm getting all depressed and I'm just in analytical, get my popcorn out mode and see what happens with this team. See what they do. That's where I'm at. I'm like that with
I just wanted to say I don't have no vendetta. Like you said, I don't have a vendetta versus against Wilkins, just so you know.
I got you, bro. I got you. I just like jabbing because we were jabbing yesterday in the chat and it was fun.
I got you.
So, Lucci, man, we haven't heard from you since last week, bro. What is on your mind, man?
Same old. Pay Wilkins. He deserves it more than anybody else who's up for a contract. I mean, they say he couldn't get sacks. He had 9-10 sacks this year. He broke the record for most tackles by his position last year. The guy does everything you ask him to do, man. Sealer, if you think Sealer's that guy and he didn't benefit from Wilkins with all the double teams and all this behind-the-scenes stuff that you didn't, then whatever. Let him walk. Like you said, Larry, we're just going to downgrade. Anything is going to be less. Sealer's not going to be that guy. Sealers is not anywhere near the level of Wilkins. He benefited from Wilkins being there, commanding all them double and triple teams. But we'll see next year. I got to straighten out something I saw Q. I don't remember who put up the comment about Skylar Thompson, but I will say this. Last year, the end of the year, Tua missed a bunch of games. Skylar went in, and the big talk was, well, if Tua would have been there, we would have won those games. As far as I'm concerned, Skylar finished the rest of the season with the same record as Tua did this year. And then when you look at the playoff games, Skylar in Buffalo, I mean, he had a few more yards than Tua did, and he also had a couple of more completions. I mean, he may have had more attempts, but the offense as a whole scored a lot more points than it did in Kansas City. And Skylar Thompson was operating under a playbook that wasn't designed specifically for him like Tua was. He was operating under limitations because the playbook wasn't designed for his skill set necessarily. It was designed for Tua's play set. And he still managed to get the team more points. He still managed more completions, more yards. You could argue the Bills didn't have the same defense. Argue what you want. But the fact of the matter is, all we heard last year is if Tua would have been in, we would have been in a better situation. Tua was in this year, and he folded in the big games like he always did. So there's that, you know.
Yeah,
And
bro.
then
They told us, Lucci, we need Tua, but Skyler put up way more points on the road last year in the playoffs.
he
Stop
did.
listening to Tua geeks, bro. They just feed you BS.
No, I don't listen to him. I wasn't listening to him last year, or I like Larry always says, the eye test. I know the eye test. I don't care. People like to say, and this is what makes me sick, you know, is people always say, oh, you don't know about, you never play football, you never this, you never that. Who do you know? What do you know? You know, some people are just so lame. You can't say something and expect them to understand. So analogies are always the best. So like, you might like a certain food, anybody in the chat. You might like Chinese, you might like Italian, you might like Mexican. I'll go out on a limb and say 98% of you, unless you're from that, you can't cook Italian food for any, you know, or real Italian. What you might think is you don't know. But that doesn't stop you from going to an Italian restaurant and eating your favorite dish, or carbonara, whatever, and saying, yo, this tastes like trash. I won't come here anymore. Because you know the restaurants, you know, down the street, they make it good. Or even a pizza, something as simple as that. You know pizza. Now, you can't make a pizza like a guy that can in Brooklyn that's made it his whole life. You could go to a pizza joint and say this pizza is trash, but you can't make pizza. So who are you? You ain't no chef, but you can judge all these chefs on how
Good
bad
analogy, bro. It's true.
It's the same thing with football, bro. You've been watching the sport for how long? The Frozen Tombstone, exactly. See, Michael K, my guy, that might be his thing.
Like Greg might not know pizza because he eats tombstones on the air, but we don't judge him for it. I know I rock with your analogy 100%, bro.
But it is what it is. And that's just the simplest one I could come up with. If you've watched something and like you say, Larry, the eye test, man, you know what's good and you know what's not. You know what works, you know what doesn't. Yeah, and I mean, I heard you saying earlier, it's such a quarterback-driven league. I feel like I'm torn between the whole Mike McDaniel thing. It's like people say, oh, he came in and Tua was his guy. And was it really his guy? Or was it that this is his opportunity to come in and they say, okay, look, we want to run it with Tua. We don't really have much of an option right now. Let's see what you can do. You know, that's what I'm saying, Color, or, you know, Q. I never heard him say that. I don't know, but it is what it is. That's just the simplest analogy I could come up with. But anything else, I mean, you don't have to be a landscaper. If someone cuts your grass and it looks like trash, you know. Anyway,
yeah,
I got
well,
you.
You don't need to be a meteorologist to know that it's raining outside.
Exactly. You know, with certain stuff, and then. You know, the whole Mike McDaniel, I don't know if Tua was his guy or not. I feel like he came in and he was happy with the opportunity. The guy was an alcoholic. He was out of the league. He's shaking back. He's got an opportunity. And they said, look, we're willing to give you a chance. Work with this guy. And he did what he could. And I feel like he did the best that he could. But I feel like what he's doing is he's going too far in trying to, because to kind of combat what you said in your rant yesterday, not your rant, but your show yesterday, Larry. It is a quarterback-driven league, and you do need a quarterback. But I disagree with that. It's like we have other stuff where we could have succeeded with our running back room. I mean, and we had a defense that kept us okay enough where we could have still fought with the running backs. And I feel like Mike McDaniel at times tries to force Tua to be able to be that guy, gives him opportunity after opportunity after opportunity, and he just fails. Because Mike McDaniel can't be that stupid, man, to just abandon the run. I think that maybe he, you know, is just trying too hard to make Tua the guy. And then last, Tua is not the guy. I've been saying it. I knew he wasn't. We look at these cold weather. He plays terrible in cold weather. It's like, yo, the Bengals with Burrow, they're always going to be an opportunity to win their division or to have a home game, maybe be a higher seed. We got them. Cincinnati's cold. We got Baltimore with Lamar. Baltimore's cold. You know, there's always going to be a chance they can win their division. It's cold. Buffalo with Josh Allen. It's cold in Buffalo, and obviously we can't beat Buffalo. It's cold in Buffalo. Who is in our division? The Texans, maybe. I ain't sold. This is the kid played good. Now I'll say this about that. I saw this. I want to say this about your show. That kid played good, CJ Stroud, but you know it's his first year. I don't never crown nobody their first year. However, what I do like about that kid is initially, first he has nobody to throw the ball to. All his passes were getting by Dell, who was a rookie as well. That was like a majority of his was going to this kid. That kid got hurt. His stats went bad. But then you gave him a couple of weeks to shake back from not having him around and what happened in this playoff game. This guy's throwing the ball to who? You can't name him. You can't name him. You can't name him.
Right.
I mean, so it's like it goes to show, you know. And then, you know, that's just it's just a terrible shame. We're gonna waste more time with Tua. He's not that guy. And for this. For my girl Melanie, who she don't watch the show, you know, she's not too much of a YouTuber. My guy Michael K. There's a bunch of guys in this chat that's Buffalo fans. They show up as much as we do, and it's because they support me and Larry and Shake and Greg. These guys, just on a personal level, are cool people, man. Adam Sadowski, peace. So I'll say this, man. I'm gonna root for the Bills. I don't give a damn about what anybody says, man. I want to see Michael K. I want to see Michael K happy, man. This guy shows up. He supports us like my girl Melanie. And I don't give a damn what anybody says. I'm blood in, blood out. You see that? God bless I'm blood in, blood out. But Michael K, I'm rooting for you. I want to see you guys happy, man. So it's, you know, football is football. Yeah. We're trash. You know, whether it be Chris Greer, whether it be Stephen Ross, it's all about, for me, like Larry said, it's another thing in the show that I really like. For us, it's about the camaraderie because, I mean, look at what it is. We got guys like Q. You know, I'd love to see this guy win you know, actually Steelers. Actually, I take that back, Q. You guys won a Super Bowl. Let me see Michael K and my girl Melanie. That's my birthday twin. I want to see you guys win and be happy.
I like Melanie. She's cool.
If it was playing us, oh, yeah, you met her, Shakes. If it was playing against us, would I? Absolutely not, you know.
And by the way, Michael K, Melanie is the girl. Remember the picture I sent you with the Buffalo fan I sent you with? That's Melanie.
Yeah.
I agree with you too. I'm tired of Mahomes. And by the way,
Michael K, I'm rooting for you to lose.
Man. Let's see something different. Let's see Buffalo and Detroit. How cool would that Super Bowl be? Buffalo and Detroit.
I would love that. But here's my thing too.
Man.
Like, I might hate the Bills because I'm a Dolphins fan, but like some part of me would still be happy for Michael K and these other guys.
Yeah, that's
like,
what I'm saying.
I'm happy for the Lions.
Who are we rooting? Anybody you root for? Let's be honest. Who cares the division? We should have beat Buffalo. We couldn't beat them, and it's due to our own demise. So this is how I look at it too. If they go on and win, then that might make these people in the upper room over here say, look, man, we lost to these. They're going to the Super Bowl. That's the team we should have beat, you know?
I agree with that too, Carrie. And
there you go, Carrie D. That's what I mean. Give us Buffalo, Detroit. None of these guys ever won the Super Bowl. Let's see somebody win. And I'm rooting for my guy, Michael K, and my girl, Melanie. And those guys show up and support. You know what I mean?
Is she from Buffalo? Melanie?
Buffalo. Something
you said made great sense.
She is. Yeah, she's from up there.
And then I got to get the panel going because we got some people waiting. But I agree, bro, because it's like, you know, at the end of the day, like, why should we be angry or vehemently invested if we suck anyway and we're stuck in neutral? Like, why are we gonna hate? Bro. Like, we ain't doing anything. Like, why are we gonna hate? Like, why are we that emotional about it?
Bro, we had a good quarterback. We'd have beat the Bills. So ultimately, we would have beat the Super Bowl champions if they win. We should have beat them.
And Buffalo's got a lot of passionate fans, man. They're knowledgeable. I mean, what am I gonna do? Hate on them because they're good?
This shit's corny, man.
Anybody I got a couple. I got to get everybody on. I got crypto. I got Lakers. I'm gonna put Nene on first, and she's a member. Members get preference. You guys want to become a Fury fan member officially? Click join, and there's a lot of perks that come with it. I'm gonna bring Nene. Then I'm gonna hit Lakers. Then I'm gonna hit crypto, man. If you want, again, hit join. Hit the super chat. We'll address you. Nene, what's good?
First of all, I'm glad my movement of Christopher Aloysius Greer III is a thing. It is moving.
Oh, that's where that came from.
It is swift. Forgive me, I'm a little tired. Today was my first day back at grad school. Spring semester started today. So I'm going to kind of keep this quick because I guess what frustrates me when and not saying you guys said anything, but these platforms and these spaces and people go on for hours and hours and hours about what's wrong with this team, what should we do, who should we keep, and then I challenged them yesterday when I was in the space to actually go and listen to that press conference because to me it told you everything you needed to know about this team. I saw today on Facebook, I won't say the name of the individual, but this individual has been a season ticket holder for over 15 years. This individual had some medical complications. And I guess when you're a season ticket holder, you have an agent or someone you communicate with. And allegedly that this person hasn't even reached out to them, and it's sad because it was I think when I heard you speak, Larry K, about no matter how much we cry about this, we still buy the tickets, we still buy the paraphernalia, we still do the tailgates, we still do the spaces, we still do the YouTube. So it's kind of like one of those things like when you have people like Ross and some of these people of power, they're like, yeah, y'all gonna rant and complain, but we still making our money. We're still gonna make our profit.
Right.
And I'm not saying like to do a boycott or nothing like that, but it saddens me because and I know not everybody's all Miami fans like I am, but when I see the Miami Heat lose and you see Pat Riley go and grab that mic, you hear a plan, you hear accountability, you hear there's a care for winning. Like when I listened to that press conference, when I heard, these guys, even when they were cleaning out the lockers, the players, their minds don't seem to be invested in winning. They don't seem to even care that they gave that, they lost essentially three important games. They lost that Buffalo game, which would have been our division championship. We lost the AFC East the week prior, and then we got kicked out the playoffs. And it was just like, oh, business as normal, And yet you got fans cussing and screaming, and Tua and Tua haters, and people that just love this team. And me personally, like you said on your show yesterday, this is a hobby for me, given that I'm in school and both of those are very serious concentrations. I like to talk my sports to keep my mind off of everything. You've already gone to law school, so you already know what I'm going through. There's a lot of reading, a lot of typing, a lot of writing, a lot of presentations. So the Miami Dolphins to me should be a release, not something where people are fighting each other, especially when your owner don't care. Stephen Ross.
How come I could get along with some Buffalo fans better than I can get along with Tua? Why is that? That's crazy. And they're telling us to go find another team. And I don't get it, Nene, because they're saying, if you don't like this, then find another team. What they're basically saying, if you don't like losing and being mediocre, you might as well root for another team. Like, that's crazy to me.
They're content with mid.
Well, it's just, we hear this phrase, the definition of insanity. I know Crypto, who's going to follow me, is talking about purgatory. But to me, it's until you get a leadership and a culture change. We've already seen it. You went from a disciplinarian to a guy where it's like a frat house. You went through these major extremes and you ended up with the same results. You got probably the most electrifying wide receiver in the game right now, and you have the same results. You got the corner that is one top 5. You got the same result. To me, it's they gotta care more than we do. That's what I think this comes down to. I don't think it has anything to do with one particular player. And I think, to be fair, Tua, what reason does he have to be scared for his job? Let's be honest. Like, I'm looking at a Matt White and a Skylar Thompson, right? And then I got a whole organization that's painting this picture that my previous coach was the problem, and now they're painting the new narrative that my new coach is the problem. Yep. He has no reason to be afraid of his employment. So, like, when people were shocked how he behaved, why should he be? He has a sense of security, and I think his security is not even about him. I think Chris Greer is proving that pick is going to work. No matter what we say we do, we're going to figure it out. If we got to get a new coach, we'll get a new coach. If we got to get Tyreek Hill, we're going to get Tyreek Hill. If we got to put a whole new system in place that is centered on his skill set of getting the ball out, we're going to do it that way. But until they realize how to win and the culture of winning, I just say just be prepared. Now, me, honestly, I love all my Miami teams, so I'm going to stick with them. But it's a sad commentary because I had listened to this gentleman, and I'm about to land my plane. He drove 10 hours from Texas to go to that Kansas City game. And just to hear his voice of disappointment, and he's normally a rah guy.
Mm-hmm.
So to hear that, it's just like, these guys don't care because you're still going to buy the t-shirts, you're still going to buy the hats, you're still going to buy the tickets. And the one last thing I like to say, it sickens me they use the 305 brand. I'm from Miami, so I can speak on 305. That area code has pride, it has grit, it has swag. And what they do does not represent that area code. So whoever's in charge of trademarking need to sue them because they don't need to use it.
Hey, they
And I
sued us
land my
for Fins
plane.
Up, so might as well sue them for 305. You know that, right? We're getting sued by Land Shark, I think, which is Jimmy Buffett's crew, which is ironic.
Oh, the Fins Up thing.
We can't use Fins Up anymore now.
You can put it with a Z.
I'm gonna use it anyway.
Well, I will say this. Ross needs a lesson because he keeps and that's why I can't lie, not just with school, but I was gonna start backing off of this thing too. Because how long you gonna voice your opinion and nothing's gonna change? And all it does, I just do it for fun. I like to have a good time, so I'm probably gonna adjust some of the things that I digest and subscribe to because it's not healthy. It's not healthy at all. And I land my plane there. I know you got other people in the queue.
All right, Nene. Well, thanks for coming back up and chill. If you got something else to say, I'll bring you back up too if the show goes on. So
hey, Larry,
always appreciate it. Good luck studying too. I know it's grueling. We all need a little bit of time after the football season to unwind because we can only say the same thing so much. So I appreciate you.
Larry, if I may real quick.
Yes,
This is a tweet I wanted to bring up during the show. This came from Lewis Reddick, former GM. This is what he said. And I quote, "When you build your team, so you have to play a very specific style of game in order to have success, and you're not able to be multiple and able to adjust based on your opponent, game flow, location, weather, etc. This is not just a QB discussion. That is a team building discussion, a philosophical football discussion that starts at the very top." I wonder who he was tweeting at by saying that.
Bro, obviously, it's Chris Greer because as we've been saying, G, like that's a team building. Like it's not just about do you like to or do you not. It goes into everything you do because when you have to pay somebody and you have a quarterback like that that's going to command just what quarterbacks in general command, let alone a top statistical, quarterback, you are going to have to disproportionately cut, salary from other parts of the team. So it's 100% a team building exercise. That's very well said. And like I said, all you need is 2 eyes, 2 ears, and a brain. And I think Greer has it. So you got to think that whatever they do as far as salaries and whatnot with Tua is got to be in that wheelhouse. So I hear you, bro. That's a good tweet. Lakers and by the way, bro, if you're not a Dolphins fan, I don't know anybody. Like I said, you're going to sit here and say that Kirk Cousins is good. You're going to sit here and say that Dak Prescott gets it done in the postseason. Of course you're not, because you're not emotionally invested in any of those guys because you're not a fan of those teams. So what do you think other fans of other teams are saying about our quarterback situation right now? If they're not emotionally invested, I promise you no one is scared of playing Tua. That's just the reality of it. Maybe in September in Miami if they're going to be hot, but not in crunch time in the playoffs, they ain't scared. That's just a fact. Go ask them. They're not hating. They just ain't scared. Lakers all day, bro. What's good? What's on your mind?
What's up, man? How you doing, man? Hey, listen, y'all.
Good to hear from you.
Listen, y'all. We are the Cowboys of the AFC. That's what we are.
Yes.
Cowboys, bro. You know what I'm saying? We got the same quarterback as the Cowboys do. You know what I'm saying? They win all their regular season games. And guess what happens? When they get to the big dance, or, you know what I'm saying, when they try to go on, you know what I'm saying, to get better, to get further in the dance, what happens? They drop the ball, they mess up. You know what I'm saying? Their quarterback take them over the hump. And our quarterback, what? He can't take us over the hump. So same thing. You know what I'm saying? It's just that our owner is not loud like their owners. You know what I'm saying? Our owner is letting Chris Greer do work, but really, you know what I'm saying? The Cowboys owner doing all the work, and the fans are just waiting to see what happens with this team. You know what I'm saying? I feel like once we can low key just get freaking Greer out of here, because like he been here for like forever. You know what I'm saying? So once we get somebody that really knows football and that knows how, like, you know what I'm saying, like help this team win, and get somebody other than Greer in his seat, that's when we know that there's going to be a change. But since he's here now, we're not going to win nothing with this dude. We're not.
It's sad,
so,
man.
Yeah, it is,
I
man.
like some of the moves he's made and whatnot, but, you know, at the end of the day, the team keeps falling short. I don't know what the solution is at this point, but it's the same damn thing. Like Shake said, we're on a stationary bike and we're pedaling, and the scenery changes like on the screen, you know, like they give you that fake simulator screen. So it looks like you're pedaling through some kind of beautiful valley or something like that. But at the end of the day, the tape always says press rewind in the same damn spot, and it doesn't change. And it gets exhausting because why am I supposed to be hyped like this? Why am I supposed to be hyped next October, knowing where we're headed?
Hey, you know what?
You know?
Okay, look. When we had Brian Flores, right? I was kind of excited because, you know, so like he brought Greer, and you know what I'm saying, like defense played great for him, you know, and us not having a coach like Brian Flores, really, you can see that, you know, things are not like it was when he was here. You know what I'm saying? It's low key feels like we have like a substitute teacher in Mike McDaniels. It feels like, you know what I'm saying, like these players are just
they're just out of control, rowdy.
Yeah, bro, they're out of control. Low key, when you have, you know what I'm saying, there was no, he was low trying to win a game, trying to focus. He was trying to low key help us to get better. We want to kick and bring this substitute teacher in, play around to go on that recess.
Yeah.
What's up?
And they're gonna they're keeping Mike
Brian
McDaniel
Flores.
too, but I get what you're saying. The ability's low, bro.
And one thing I liked about Brian Flores was the press conferences, because he'll literally call out. He'll really he puts the reporters in his place. You know what I mean? Like if the reporter asks a dumb question or something dumb, he'll let them know about themselves, and they hated that shit. They hated that. Sorry about that. They hated the fact that he would check a reporter. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro. They did.
How dare you question the media?
They did hate that. They ganged up on him for that.
Yeah.
They did hate that. And then remember, Big O led the charge, which I think was coming from inside the organization, which is why I said, like, as soon as Big O started talking about McDaniel, like, to me, that's coming from inside the building. Like, they're already trying to find a scapegoat to take the pressure off to it. And I don't even think it's because they're going to fire McDaniel. I think it's just because any way they can to take the attention off of a serious concern, they're going to take it, because they want to sell jerseys. They want to sell season tickets. They want people to be enthusiastic, and they want them to be enthusiastic in September and October and November, because then they're going to renew their tickets. They want them invested. So any way they can to start spinning the narrative, changing the narrative, whenever they see blood in the water that we may not reach the promised land once again, they're going to jump on it and use it. And I'm telling you right now, look, like, just let's take a look at this, right? I'm telling you right now, these are the narratives we're going in. Injuries plagued us, and we got to stay healthy. But here's a deeper narrative that they are spinning inside that building and with the tightest beat reporters that rock with them. Big O has started it, and now you saw some media members start asking questions that play into this narrative, and they're creating this narrative now. The narrative is Mike McDaniel is a great play designer, but he's reached his limitation. He doesn't know when to call the right plays. And so are you going to relinquish play calling to somebody else? Does Tua have the authority to audible at the line? You know why they're doing that? They're doing that because now when McDaniel does give somebody play calling authority or promote somebody or change up the way plays are called, or when Tua, it's going to come out in 2 months, now he's got full command of the offense because he can now call several different audibles. And when we get younger players that may not be as good as the guys there, they're going to be healthier. Now you have three different aspects to how you're going to spin and preach and sell a narrative to people and how they're going to get excited about things that don't necessarily warrant excitement, but it's something to sell because you can't sell them the same thing as last year because we wound up with this 21st pick just like we would have wound up with the 21st pick last year. So you find narratives. Last year it was jiu-jitsu, it was staying healthy, it was this and that. Now jiu-jitsu actually worked, but they spun it. They focused too much on it because and then the media rocks with it. Like, how do you think the jiu-jitsu has assisted you? And then the announcers say, well, this guy, every day he was in jiu-jitsu and it really helped him. I talked to him and he said one of the things they taught me. Now it's going to be calling audibles, giving up play calling. And they spin these narratives, and some people are purposely in on like a conspiracy to spin the narratives, but the majority of the people are just clout chasing. They're just clout chasing to get clicks, to get eyes, and to feel like they're part of the movement. And that's why this channel calls it out. The tailgate calls it out, like, because it's nonsense. I'm not going to participate in ridiculous mass hysterical narratives that don't necessarily have any implication on what goes down on the football.
Let me a bunch of geeks. They want to be the geeks fitting in with the popular kids, but then eventually when they have the party and the police shows up, they're the ones that get blamed. Our media team are a bunch of geeks. They ask softball questions to these guys. I'm sick of the lies our Dolphin media posts. That's why I go to guys like Doug Would Do Wrong, the Tailgate, Larry, and TD, because this media team are a bunch of geeks. I hate them all.
They're 2 weeks.
Especially you, Joe Shad, you geek. Come at me, you geek.
Look at Greg is calling out guys by name. What? G is eating a Tombstone pizza on a Tuesday night in New England, and he's calling out guys by name. That's why Phin-Addict Fury is furious all the time. Phin-Addict, back with the fury. Lucci, what's on your mind, bro?
I got to say this about Chris Greer, because I ain't just going to – I like Chris Greer, so I ain't going to let everybody shit on him, and I don't say anything to his defense. So anybody who thinks that the whole Tom Brady situation was just breezed over Chris Greer and went straight to Flores, you're outside of your mind. You don't know what to – he knew about that, okay? He went along with that. He knew that it was happening like that. So he did what he could. You know, the owner said he wanted Brady. He went along with that. Okay, that blew up in our face. Whatever. We get stuck with Tua. Okay, after all this stuff happened, we're stuck with Tua. What other direction are we going to go, right? So we accommodate Tua. Now, Chris Greer, knowing this, brings in Mike McDaniel, who ultimately has brought back Tua, like you said, Larry. He had to deal with Tua first. He had to build back his confidence because it was broken from mean Flores. He had to build back his confidence. Nobody believed in him. Right? He's dealing with that. Boom. He does that. Then the guy gets broken up with the concussions. Then he had to deal with that. Now, Mike McDaniel, I think we can all agree, has done a great job in bringing the best out of Tua. I think we've seen the best that we're going to see from Tua. Had we seen any of these numbers prior to Mike McDaniel showing up? No. So if we're sticking with Tua, this is the best opportunity you could have given Tua to succeed, was bringing in Mike McDaniel. I'm pretty sure we can all agree with that.
I guess I
agree with that. Yeah.
So then we also saw his deficiencies. Tua's.
No.
What does Greer do? Gets the running game. I'm going to get you some running backs that can get it. So it's not all on you. We're going to have. What did he do with HN? We got a guy that averaged 8 yards a carry, right? We got Mostert, who led the league in touchdowns, and who was his average got to be pretty high. I don't know. I didn't check the stats. We got a guy like Wilson that runs at a high clip. We brought in a guy like Tyreek, who ultimately is the only, not the only, I take that back. I feel like a Justin Jefferson would be better with Tua because you could throw it up there. This guy's going to jump up and grab it. But anyway, he brought in Tyreek for as far as speed is concerned to a spot throwing quarterback. And look what happened. That's why Tua's numbers are so high. It was the perfect marriage. Am I the only one missing that?
Well, I think what we're saying though, bro. So like,
hold on. He drafted Waddle. He brought in Waddle, who was somebody who was familiar with Tua. And Waddle has done some things that organizationally have never been done in his first couple of years. Did he not do that? And then you look at the draft a few years ago where he killed the draft. Well, we had Phillips. What was that year? We had Phillips, Waddle, Holland, all in the same draft. Name another GM that got three. These are three guys, man, that are all top dogs.
On the Jets did it, but he's still in hot water.
Baby, I'm not saying he don't got to be in hot water, whatever. I get it. He's been here 5 years, and people want more. But what I'm saying is all you guys knocking him around like he's just some trash-ass GM, you're tripping. When it comes down, he brought in Fangio. This defense, everybody wants to make excuses for everybody, was decimated by injuries. Man, that defense in these latter part of the season held their own, man. And they held their own and was on the field the entire time because somebody wants to turn the ball over every chance he gets. He wants to keep the defense on the field. Okay, so they couldn't score as many touchdowns as we'd like them to so we could win the game. They kept us in the Buffalo game. We were decimated by injuries. They kept us in the Kansas City game in the cold, freezing the whole entire time. We're decimated by injuries. We had 2 old guys off the couch. He's the one that brought in Fangio with this scheme. Everybody complains. But listen, ultimately, it comes down to this. He's not on the field. Everybody wants to say, well, Tua don't play defense. Man, this guy is giving us – what are we talking about?
Well,
He's brought in players that have done things that haven't been done in this organization, period. He drafted Christian Wilkins, who broke all kinds of records in the league for the team, for everything else.
He's built some good players, but here's the thing, and here's what the criticism is. It's not about that. Number one, you got to give some credit to Mike McDaniel for bringing in Fangio because he's the head coach. He does the hiring, and he has to want to work for him. So that's number one. McDaniel has to get.
Hold on, okay, now pause, Larry. Did you see? I'm glad you said that, since you think that's what it is, because I totally disagree with you.
That's a part of it, is what I said.
Hold on. No. Let me say this. Did you see Mike McDaniel's answer when they asked him, "Is Big Fangio coming back next year?" Did you hear his answer?
No.
Watch that when the show hangs up, and you tell me if you think that he brought him in and that's his answer, not being a resounding yes after what Fangio did for us with that type of talent, you tell me if you think McDaniel brought him in, because I'm gonna tell you right now.
That's a lot.
Let me rebut that real quick, because at the end of the when he first came on here, he was looking to get Big Fangio, but he didn't want to come because he was still getting money from Denver. So they stuck with whatchamacallit. So they stuck with Boyer. So he said it. He wanted freaking Fangio.
Right. And he could have said that and whatever. But I'm saying it's not his idea. It wasn't his hire. Go watch when the show hangs up. Go watch.
He said that was his hire, bro.
I mean, look, that's how it works in every other team. Maybe this team, because of some answer that McDaniel gave yesterday, it doesn't work that way. We have no information that says otherwise. And I heard Omar Kelly say today, which is what I understand, that Fangio's an older dude who has his own volition and he can get out whenever he wants. So I don't necessarily think McDaniel said it because he's throwing shade at him. I think he said it because maybe Vic's throwing shade at McDaniel. But my further point about
He
Greer
wouldn't be wrong if he was.
my other point about Greer is, bro, you could do all the great stuff in the world, but all I'm asking is accountability, honesty, and if you realize now that Tua is a liability, you have to continue to do your job. You can't rest on your laurels because you brought in a bunch of good supportive players. You have to figure out how to solve that. And all I'm saying is, if you're going to participate in narrative spinning and lack of honesty, bro, if he came out to that podium and said, look, I brought many good players here. I have done my absolute best to succeed, but we failed. We failed the fans. It's not good enough. It will not be good enough. I'm going to get right to work tomorrow. You wouldn't be hearing me say this, but that's not how he came about it and went about it. He played into the narratives just like these other two guys, and he deserves to be called out for that. Despite what he's done, that's good. I'm not saying fire him. I'm just saying that's the truth.
And by the way, the one knock I have on him is the last two drafts, we only had one player, Chan, but at the end of the day, there were a lot of them were late picks, so I'm not going to be too mad at that. But it is a concern where you have two drafts and you only get one impact player, and that was a Chan in the last two drafts we had.
I'm not trashing him. I'm just saying, like,
Horace, we had a bunch of return. I got to disagree with you, Horace. We had a bunch of return on that Laramie Trundle trade. We've had a whole bunch of return on that. You got to do your research.
I agree with that. That I agree with.
No. We built this whole thing we got going off that trade. And I'm going to tell you something else. He drafted a Minka Fitzpatrick, who was a cold talent. And then when it didn't work out with Flo, he got rid of him and got us. We benefited from that. He was able to take that great pick we got. That was a great talent. It didn't work out, and he still flipped it and made something good happen to it. Now, am I saying I like the way he talked at the press conference? No. But is he going to go in there and stir up a bunch of – I mean, you got this friendly dork sitting next to you, and is he going to stir the pot with this guy? I mean, come on, man. It is what it is. He could go up there and be politically correct. It might not be something that we want to hear, or it might not be something that me or you, Larry, would have said. But at the same time, when we're talking about what a GM is supposed to do, bringing in talent, he's done that. He's done it. X, man, listen, X is old. He's hurt, whatever. He drafted X. Look at some of the players he's drafted, man, that are going to end up being all-time great Miami Dolphins. And then you go back through the years of our GMs, and you show me another one that's brought up that much talent. You can't.
No, that's a good argument to defend him. That's a good argument. I'm just saying, I don't like some of the stuff.
I dare anybody. Nay, you're the biggest hater in the world, Chris Greer hater. I dare you to go pull up the last GM that brought this much generational talent to the Miami Dolphins. I'll wait all night for you.
Jeff Ireland and Jeff Ireland, Jimmy Johnson, and the rest of them that had. Where's our Jason Taylor and Zach Thomas on this team? Tim Bowens, Sam Madison, and Patrick Surtain, Brock Marion. Okay. Where are they at on this team?
Okay, hold on. Brock Marion.
Those general managers prior to him.
Who drafted Brock Marion?
Not Greer,
not Greer. Brock Marion wasn't drafted by the Miami Dolphins.
He was brought over by a general. He was brought over by a GM by the Miami Dolphins.
Who drafted?
It don't matter. It's not about the draft. It's about offseason moves too.
What are you talking about? It's huge in the draft.
It's a computer. It's a complete package. If you bring in people in the offseason, that's a general manager's job too.
Then the draft.
It's a general manager's job to bring in people in the offseason as well.
Crazy comment.
It don't matter.
You've been up here. It does matter.
It don't matter. If you could build a team
that you could spend on bringing in other help.
Okay, first of all, let me debunk this. I'm sorry, Larry, because this is freaking nonsense. It's pissing me off. Because the fact of the matter is, you can bring all the talent in you want. If you're not building in the talent to beat the competition when it matters, then it ain't gonna matter for anything. It ain't gonna matter for anything. If you ain't beating, you're bringing in talent to beat the Buffalo Bills, to beat the Ravens, or to beat the Tennessee Titans for crying out loud. Hell, what are we doing here? You could tell me you're bringing in all the talent you want. If you're not building a team, which is a responsibility to beat the opponent when it matters in January or December. I don't care all this flashiness about bringing in Tyreek Hill, paying all kind of money for overpriced wide receivers and overpriced offensive linemen like freaking Terran Armstead, who's broken down, who's in the infirmary every 5 weeks. So I don't care about that. If you're not building a team to beat the Buffalo Bills, who pounded your head in the sand over the last 4 years, it don't matter. Your job as a GM is to beat your your opponent.
It's only 1 weak link. Why we didn't?
But that's all that you're measured by. What?
Or anybody
We're
else.
not trying to be the Dallas Cowboys or the Cincinnati Bengals of this era. I don't need the Marvin Lewises of the world. I don't need the Jerry Jones of the world. We're not building the new version of the Dallas Cowboys. I'm stuck in purgatory.
One piece on the team.
This general manager so far got me stuck in purgatory. Hashtag purgatory. That's the movement that I got going on because we've been stuck since 1972. Guess what? If I have 56 years to my current age, that will put me in the year 2080 and I'll be 105. That makes us the new Chicago Cubs. I'm halfway there. I'm already halfway there. I'm more than halfway there. I'm 52 years into this now. So another 48 years plus, then we're the Chicago Cubs by definition. And the reason why I keep bringing up the Cubs, because I'm a Cubs fan. I'm just so happen to be lucky to be born at the right time. That's why I didn't suffer that 108-year drought like those poor saps that was born in 1909 and died in 2015. They never saw it.
Earlier, bro. I rock with you.
I never was that unlucky to be born in 1909 and die in 2015. So you missed that whole entire time where you never saw your team hoist the freaking World Series trophy.
But
I don't want that to happen to me again when it comes to the Miami Dolphins. That's all I'm begging for. And it's this general manager's job to get me out of purgatory because I'm halfway there and I don't need it.
By the way, go Marlins.
I'll be 77 in 56 years.
So G's gonna be the only one alive to see this. We're all gonna be dead with the way we drink. Not really you, Luchi. You just take shots here and there. But me and Jake.
Oh, yeah.
How long are we gonna last?
I tell you what, 105 is a long time to be on any planet. Letting on this one.
Story, bro. Any planet, including Earth.
Any planet. 105 is asking a lot to be sitting around waiting for a title. And I am nervous as heck that destiny is going to be mine as a Dolphin fan since I was unlucky as a Cubs fan and I was lucky as a Cubs fan not to go through that time gap.
Yeah, that's bad, bro.
Because we're sitting around waiting for general manager to build a perfect team.
Bro, listen, this is what it comes down to. Listen, man. We totally missed on the quarterback. But, Nay, what you ain't going to do is say, when is that talent going to hit? Holland has shown, all the people I name, man, have shown their talent.
Dudes in here,
these guys, listen, ultimately, Crypto, you know this too, my guy. This is the huge miss. Ultimately, it's up to one guy, man. Unfortunately. It's one guy, bro, that's ruining everything. Because like Larry said, and some other people, you take any one of these other quarterbacks and you put them on our team, any one of these, I'll take any quarterback that's in the playoffs right now today, right? And you put them on this team, and you tell me we're not competing for a Super Bowl. You name one. I don't give a damn what team that's
I wouldn't disagree with you when you with that statement.
I think we all kind of agree.
That would mean we're 1 or 2 pieces away.
But I've been hollering Tua ain't that guy since the beginning. What messed
Looking
up
at the remaining teams that's left, yeah, you can say that those quarterbacks.
But he's just saying, hey, now you got to fix this quarterback situation.
Crypto, all these guys can extend plays for just a little bit, bro. Just a little bit. And they can sling
just maybe a second or two.
Come on, man. I feel like with McDaniel, the way he draws, you watch the plays, bro. There's guys that are open that he just doesn't see. This is the big miss.
We got it. Now,
Minus
listen,
Chris
I gotta
Greer
move the
saying,
panel along, Crypto. So I love that. I love that little exchange. That was perfect. Any other point you want to make? Because I got to get Lewis in here and Mountie in here.
Oh no, it's cool. Larry K, I appreciate you bringing me on.
Appreciate you,
I
brother.
just get, I'm not getting personal at anybody.
No,
I
I
just
know
get
that.
passionate
No, I know that.
because
Bring you back
if
up.
it feel like I'm stuck in, I just feel like I'm stuck in no man. I just feel like sometimes we get stuck in no man's land
Yeah, man.
because of a blink of an eye, 10 years go by just like that. As soon as you blink your eye, time goes by so fast, and he be like, well, damn, what are we doing?
Yeah.
We're spinning our wheels. And I get real anxious about when people say use the word to be patient. I'm like, well, damn, how much should we
Listen, bro, I
need to
heard you
get?
earlier,
Because
too,
you
on a
blink an
different
eye,
topic.
10 years
I
is
agree
gone.
with you.
You blink
I agree
again,
with you.
20 years is gone.
No,
And you
I'm
like,
going in the
where
perfect.
did that time go?
I agree with
And
you.
I'm like,
Hey.
I feel like you stuck in an endless loop, kind of like the Matrix, you know.
No, I agree
You
with
like
you. I heard you
Yeah.
the
earlier.
sentinels are coming at you, and there's no escape.
And
The
by the way,
Matrix.
man, I tell you what, Crypto is one of the best co-hosts, and the guy that's waiting in the back, my man Lewis. And he already knows when it's happy hour, the Fins tailgate. Anybody in the Fins tailgate is an honorary guest of the panel. So
that's why I'm
I'm
saying,
like a Leo Dunn between the two channels. You know what I mean?
I listen to
Hey, listen,
I listen to Crypto. I rock with the purgatory movement 100%, bro.
If somebody can get me out of this purgatory, hey Larry, I'm gonna be a happy man.
And by
I
the
need
way,
to get out of it. Somebody needs to
I'm
pull me out of it.
I'm gonna talk to you later on, Crypto. Me, I already spoke to Capitan. He's down with it. I got to come up with a concept. We are gonna make up. We're gonna make on the Fins Tailgate Network. We're gonna make a purgatory shirt and hat.
I love it.
Just for it.
I'm a rocket, bro.
Oh, okay,
Tell me
cool,
when that
perfect.
comes out, bro.
All right, cool. Bet, Shake.
I'm
good deal, man.
bro.
Appreciate it, Larry. Thanks, Greg, for keep it up, Greg, man. Keep it up, man. Keep the passion up, Greg.
You guys got that same energy. I like it.
Yep.
Mountie, what's good, my bro? And then Lewis is
Larry,
next.
before Mountie speaks, I just want to say Mountie was 100% right. I got to go back to TD's thing to clip it. I think he said something along the line, Talia better than Tua, and I 100% agree with it. I got to go back and find that.
Yo, he's a beast. I'm telling you right now. I've seen him play at Maryland, bro. It's just health, though, too. Tua's not healthy, bro, because he's never going to be healthy again after those concussions and that hip injury. It's sad, but that changed his whole game, bro. Mountie, what's good, bro?
Larry, Lucci, Greg, Shake.
What's going on, brother?
What's up, bro?
How y'all, man? Hey, look, man. I'm gonna just say this real quick, and I know, in the scheme of things, agents, their job is to get their clients paid the most amount of money based on what they feel that they've done or feel that they're worth. I get it, but check this out. Tua's been here now 4 years. He has been healthy 1 whole year out of 4. This is his best season. The concern look, some of you guys are way more smarter and up to speed than I am on contracts and that nature. My concern is this, that Tua's because he made the Pro Bowl and he threw for 4,600 yards and 28 touchdowns and this, that, and the third, and he stayed healthy the whole year. My concern is now that his agent is going to try to pull Lamar Jackson, that he's going to have minimal contact, voluntary workouts and training camp. They're going to try to play the game to try to milk us for money, to try to get his deal done before he starts the year. I know what they're going to do. It's no reason for them not to. But I don't want us to be in that position to where they're going to try to strong arm us into paying him top end money when he doesn't deserve it.
Right.
He doesn't deserve it. And Larry, just think about it. I feel as though they're going to try to play that. They're going to try to play that card.
They do.
They're gonna. He's gonna have minimal contact. They're gonna try to hold. Even try to hold him out and shit like that, crap like that. And we need to have a backup plan if they try that crap. Because look, I'm not just because he had one good year, one full year. I'm not paying him upwards of $50 million, guaranteed. 180, 190 million dollars. He doesn't deserve that.
He doesn't. And by the way, he might still get hurt again, Mountie. That's what I'm scared of too. Like this season, he stayed healthy, and the stats were good, but still didn't get it done in crunch. Yeah, now the last step is to keep those same stats and get it done in crunch time. But the health isn't no longer a concern just because he got through 1 year. And he's limited
of course.
in what he could do because he's trying to stay healthy, which I'm not knocking him for. But he's limited in what he could do as far as throwing the ball at the right times, quickly, not running. I'm not saying anything against him for trying to do him and stay healthy, but that's a limit. That's a further limit on his game.
And you can't tell me Greer, at least, doesn't want him to do it again. You stayed healthy. You had a good year this year. I really want to see you do it again, at least most of the year.
Right.
Before I even look, dude, we're not even going to talk about an extension. The guys that's your peer group, your classmates, they've done it already. Joe Burrow, 2 AFC Championship, a Super Bowl appearance, one throw away from a Super Bowl.
Yes.
Jalen Hurts. Come on, man. Like, dude. I mean, look, I hope this is all hype.
Mountie, like I'm not anointing Stroud at all, but he already won a playoff game. Like these dudes come in and you could already see the young champ in them. And Tua, we're talking about 5 years of development. I'm not against development.
And Larry, wait. And Larry, and the one thing to note, CJ Stroud is doing more with less. He doesn't have the talent. He doesn't Nico Collins, he doesn't have the receiving core that we do.
No.
He doesn't have the running backs that we do.
No.
And he didn't even play. He missed 4 games, and he's played his numbers are almost the same, almost like Tua's.
Right.
And he missed 4 games.
Right. I mean,
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Like 2 eyes, 2 ears, and a brain, bro. That's it. Like we could pay him, but we better pay him what's fair. And setting the market, getting the bag, that ain't fair. That ain't what he's gonna put into the team to get the return. Greg, what's up? Greg's calling.
Time out. I gotta call it out. This geek Joe. I need to know if this is true or not. This geek Joe Shad reported 30 minutes ago that Mike McDaniel is out of head coach out of the Miami Dolphins. Bill Belichick's meeting with GM Chris Greer. Can anyone confirm?
Are you kidding me? No, you're kidding.
Is this guy Joe Shad, this geek, trolling us, or is this the truth? I need someone to find this out. If not, I'm going after this geek Joe Shad. This geek. Come at me, Joe. Come at me, you geek.
Where is this tweet? What?
On Twitter. Right
no
now.
Way.
I need to know if this is true. Because
No
I
way
bet this is BS by this geek Joe Shad with his fake inside sources, this geek. Come at me, Joe, with your geekness.
So hold on. I couldn't understand what the hell you're saying. What do you say?
This geek Joe Shad tweeted 30 minutes ago, Mike McDaniel out as head coach, Belichick meeting with Ross and Greer tomorrow. I don't think this is true because
trust me. I'll get all kind of ESPN. You don't think ESPN will be blowing up right now?
Oh,
you sure that's not a fake Joe Shad?
And by the way, if they do fire, they do fire.
Yo, it's a fake account.
If they do fire McDaniel, you got to go through the Rooney Rule, right?
Yo, Ryan, what's good, my brother? Another Fury fan member.
Ryan, what's up, man? Shot time, Ryan.
I think Ryan's a good dude. By the way, hold on. I figured out the history. This Joe Shad's account is Shad Joe. That's his name. But this cat who lists himself as Joe Shad is Miami 305 Mike. Anybody know Miami 305 Mike? Because he's the one.
I'm blocking him right now.
Block him. Because he's out here causing a ruckus on my channel. And I don't
He's
like
saying
it.
something that I'd love to see, though. I'll tell you what.
Ruckus. Yeah, I know
you like Kevin said, you got Bill Belichick and Vic Fangio. What do you think we could do with something like that?
I heard a ruckus, but no, I agree with you. Mounty, go ahead, finish your
take
thought,
that
bro.
over
I'm gonna
McDaniel
get
all day and twice on Sunday.
No, I just you know, if we don't draft a quarterback later rounds, or we don't pull in somebody to we don't bring in somebody to possibly replace Tua, I would, you know what, I really would like to see gloves off, knock 'em, sock 'em, Tua compete with Skylar Thompson in training camp. Open competition. I really do.
You think, Mounty, that Skylar would really win when we're talking about practice, though? That's the thing. Like, he seems to struggle the most when the pressure's the highest in the high-intensity games against the best teams. I bet you, and this isn't me saying he's great. I'm just telling, I bet you he beat 9 out of 10 dudes in practice.
Well, I tell you what, Skylar Thompson scored more points in Tua in his playoff game than Tua did.
You know what I say, though? Bro, that's what I was thinking about, to your point. Teams pull quarterbacks all the time just to spark up the team, even if they have no intention of starting the other guy. I'm wondering why Mike McDaniel, I mean, I know why, because all the nonsense, but because Mike is such a Tua, confidence booster. But, yo, what's wrong with pulling Tua when he's struggling, doing absolutely nothing, if nothing else, just to get a spark out of the team?
Because that'll make him look like Flores. And that's what everybody's knock on Flores was.
Sometimes you got to do that, bro.
Yeah, but who else does that in the league?
Bro, we were going
Belichick
down
did that.
16-7, and we were already looking like it was beat, but we weren't really out of it. And Tua's not going to create anything at that point in the late in the third quarter. Why not just try throwing Mike White in? Not because he's the answer. Don't get it twisted. I'm not saying he's going to take us to the Super Bowl. I'm not going to say he's the starter. I'm just saying because he was the backup, because he's played ball before, and Skylar was the emergency QB. Why not just try one of them? Like maybe sometimes you got to light a spark under a team or a play, and then maybe we get to the next round, and then you fight it out. Maybe Tua has some fire under his ass. I don't know.
Hey, hold on.
I know what you're saying, Mounty, is what I'm saying.
Let me straighten this Ty Bless real quick in the comments section, because he's shooting at somebody tonight. You must think he's cute and all this. So you would want a third string quarterback instead of. Let's just get this, because you missed the first half of the show. Because I definitely one of them guys last year hollering about if Tua would have been here, we'd and if Tua would have been here, we'd Well, guess what, my guy? Tua was here this year for them end games, and Tua did terrible all them games. And then in that playoff game that we just had, definitely Skylar Thompson had a better game than Tua did in his playoff game, and did it with a playbook that was designed for Tua, not for his own skill set. So you could get out of here with that, calling somebody that they must think he's cute, because the facts are the facts. He had the same opportunities Tua had, and Tua had the same record that he did in the end of them last season. One win to get us in the playoffs, and this guy Tua blew the whole 3-game lead for the division. And he was healthy, and he had all the weapons to throw to, and he wasn't getting sacked left, right, and everywhere else. So miss me with anything else you got to say. Yeah, Skylar Thompson is Tua Tagovailoa. If this was a Scooby-Doo episode, my dude, then they snatched the Tua mask off, it would be Skylar Thompson. I don't know what you're talking about. So you get out of here with all that.
And by the way, just shout out to my boy Kevin Dorsey, man. He's got some real good takes. I love his stuff, man. When he writes something, check it out. Mounty, anything else to land the plane? I'll bring Lewis in.
No, you good, man. Thanks, bro.
All right, brother. I'll talk to you soon, bro. Thanks for coming on as always. Always look forward to your call every week, my brother.
And some 28 people on the injured list. Get out of here, man. The whole offense was healthy, man. Wasn't nobody hurt but Connor Williams on the offense. Defense kept us in the games. What are you talking about? See, you don't come on here enough to know that you're just exposing yourself. Because like Larry said, that's going to be the main and the only main narrative that's going to be drawn up like that is by you guys. Them two are weirdos, man.
Yeah,
the rest of us normal people, man, ain't going for that, man. The offense was healthy. Get out of here with that. My bad, Lou.
But listen, I got a rabid Doll fan in here, a rabid Doll fan. And you know, if you listen to him on these panels out here, I got Lewis in the building, man. So what's good, bro?
He be cooking folk on the regular.
I already know.
What's good, Larry, Shay, Ant, Greg? What's going on? I'm not here for the quarterback conversation. I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm here for Chris Greer. What are we talking about when we come out here and kill Chris Greer? I just got a couple questions because I value everybody's opinion on this panel, right? Mm-hmm. How many play calls did Chris Greer call this season?
0.
How many passes did Chris Greer throw this season?
0.
How many tackles did Chris Greer miss this season?
0.
You got to echo, Lou. You got to echo.
Is that me?
Okay, it's gone now.
It's gone. It must have been G.
Yeah. So the fact is, when we come out here and we kill Chris Greer, right?
And put a name on it.
Well, everybody in the chat.
Did you hear what I said about him? Why I'm killing him is not about the losing this season.
But Larry, all he could do again, if we were a general manager, let's go down the list. There was a general manager with Cincinnati for Marvin Lewis that coached there 19 years, right? 19 years. That general manager stayed there. What did they win?
Nothing at that point.
Nothing. But Chris Greer, since he's been here, now we can argue if there's mistakes made, but he hired Adam Gase, got rid of him. Hired Brian Flores, got rid of him. They're trying.
I think Ross hired Gase and Philbin, bro. I really do.
Yeah, he was.
I think Greer hired Flores. I think Greer hired Flores, honestly.
Well,
and I think they both hired McDaniel.
Okay, and that's fine. Let's say he only hired Flores. Is Flores still here? No, he got rid of him, right? Because they're trying. He's trying new things. It's not like he's just sitting on his hands. And what's frustrating to me is for the people that are calling out Chris Greer are the same people when we traded for Jalen Ramsey saying, oh my God, it was a great move. I love the move. When we traded for Tyreek Hill, these are the same people that, oh my God, we got a big time wide receiver. I love Chris Greer so much. I remember the conversation when we got Terron Armstead. Oh my God, Chris Greer is a genius because we were going to have to pay this man upwards of 20+ million and we signed him for 16. What a bargain. We're in our feelings now, but we're calling out the wrong people. I just heard Mountie bring up CJ Stroud, right? And Mountie's point was CJ Stroud is doing more with less. Is that a Chris Greer problem? Because what Mountie just told you was Chris Greer got talent on this team. He got the receivers. He got the running backs.
Yep.
He also got the quarterback, though.
Okay, and that's why I said I'm not here to debate everybody that wants off of Tua. I'm not here to change your opinion. I'm just saying, why are we blaming people that sit in the front office? Everybody knew, and if you're not in your feelings, right, we're going to be objective. Look at the talent that's on this team. A general manager's job is to build a team full of talent. Are we going to sit here and say that the 2023 Miami Dolphins, without the injuries, weren't talented?
No,
is that what we're trying to?
Bro, I'm not knocking him for the talent on the team currently. And I've said on this panel, I've said all year, I respect the job Greer has done with the talent on the team, and it's a shame that this quarterback couldn't win with the talent. However, I'm calling out the narratives that they're spinning and trying to sell to the fan base. And here's my thing, bro, to your point, and I think it'll settle both our points. I'll ask you something. If he goes out and signs Tua for a massive contract that most people think is overpriced for what he provides and it handicaps the rest of the team, then I think I'll have a more legitimate argument for him spinning a narrative and doing a move that I don't agree with. If he gets Tua for a fair amount of money and finds a way to keep all these dudes, then I don't care. You know, I'm still going to call it the narrative spinning, but I definitely don't have anything to stand on with respect to calling him out because he continues to do a good job if that happens. He's done a good job with personnel. I just wish he'd come out and be a little more upfront. I know that's the political game, but we don't play that game. So I just don't like, and that's what Anthony said. Me or him might not say it. You might not say it, Lou, but he said it. I don't love it. I'm waiting to see what he does with his quarterback situation because to your point, he's always tried. Let's see what he does.
Well, he also said Tua was our guy and then went fishing for Tom Brady on the yacht.
That's yeah.
And so
when we agree with that,
fair point. No, fair point. He tried to get Lamar too.
You gotta say the right thing.
He tried to get Lamar.
Absolutely.
He tried to
get right. You got to say the
but
right
he
thing,
said no to Lamar first.
But
I'm not trying to knock. I'm just saying.
But you have to listen. If you go out there and say a certain thing and then it backfires, now you got to work with the people you have, and then they don't really want to work.
I get it.
So you gotta kind of.
I get it. Lou, what were you saying?
And you have to in the press conference, right? If Chris Greer comes out and just takes a massive dump on Tua Tagovailoa, let's say, right? Let's say, and if they are, let's say, trying to move off of them, let's say they're trying to seek out a trade. What is going up on the front of a podium and absolutely there was feedback.
Greg, mute. There you go.
Yeah, it's G.
Sir. If Chris Greer goes out and kills, absolutely demolishes Tua Tagovailoa in a press conference, and he's in the back of his mind, he's trying to seek a trade option. What is that going to do for Tua's trade value? If you go out there and kill him.
Hold on. I got to shout out Nene for an awesome donation. Nene, you already remember and you're doing it. We appreciate it, but I know you wanted it highlighted. Lewis is up here. Luchi's up here, so I'm going to let them, respond to what you just said. Lewis, just to quickly respond to you, I agree with you in that respect, bro. All I wanted was him to say, we can do better as an organization. That was a failure of the organization to the fans. Expectations were set a certain place. We did everything we could, but that is not good enough. We will get back to work. I didn't like his oh, that wasn't bad. Come on, trying to treat us like fools. I'm not saying to take a dump on Tua. I agree with you. But then go ahead. You can respond to Nene. Nene, thanks for the donation.
Well, listen, Nene is stuck in her ways, and that's fine. I'm not here to change no opinion. But I will just pose the question like this, because I hear Nene all the time bring up the Miami Heat, right? And the ultimate goal for all of us and everybody that plays sports is championships. I don't give a damn that the Miami Heat are getting out of the Eastern Conference. Are they winning championships?
Hey, but hold on a second. Real quick, Lou, let me just get Nene that. Because she cries about Hero. She cries about a whole bunch of people on the Heat. So what you saying, that Pat Riley we should get rid of Pat Riley? Should we get rid of Pat Riley? Because the people that you cry about, he's the one that hired him. So get rid of the Godfather? No, what you saying? That's come on, Nate. That's just
and Nene
was a silly thing to say. Because I know you don't want to get rid of Pat Riley, but he hired everybody that you cry about.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
And another thing Nene brings up, right? Her scenarios all the time is if she goes to a restaurant, right? And the steak or whatever she's decided to eat that night is not cooked to her liking, she's going to go and call for the manager, right? Or she's going to go call for the cook. Cool. You know who you think they're firing, the manager, or are they firing the cook?
Right.
They're firing the cook. They're not getting rid of the manager. You see what I'm saying? You're going to go cry to that manager. The manager's going to come up to you and say, okay, I hear your concerns or whatever. We'll investigate, right? At the end of the day, they're going to get rid of the cook. The cook is the players. The cook is Tua Tagovailoa. The cook is Tyreek Hill. The cooks are on the field. I just don't understand. Why are we so hard on a guy that doesn't contribute to anything on the field? The last time I checked, one of the concerns was when Chris Greer also said during the season, oh, I'm not worried about the offensive line. It's more you guys. There was injuries up and down that offensive line. Liam Eichenbergs of the world were holding it down. Lester Cottons of the world were holding it down. Our backups, right? Depth that Chris Greer told us not to worry about was out there doing their job. Are we blaming him for that?
You're right on that. You're right on that.
But Lou, this is what it goes.
In him. I just don't. I believe in him, but he's got to get us out of purgatory. To Crypto's point. Now, hold on before you say something, Lucci. Nene put 20 on it, and at the end of the day, we want to have a conversation. So I'm gonna put me and Shake and Greg to the side. I'm gonna bring Lewis, Lucci, and Nene have a debate. But I love all of you, respect all of you. Just try to keep the curses to a minimum. Don't talk over each other. But I want the people who are watching to get a good debate. That's all. Is that cool?
You like it, I love it.
Absolutely.
All right, I'm gonna sit the three.
One thing I know is I said I ain't debating nobody about Tua anymore. See, I know Nay ain't debating that.
Is everybody gets to get heard and nobody gets toppled off of. And CB and AB, If you want to come up here and talk about how I held people accountable, you are welcome. I'll dump my whole retirement check to roast y'all tonight. I got time. I don't have classes tomorrow.
All right, so
Okay,
go ahead though. I want to hear.
Yeah,
Like,
go ahead, man.
I want to hear.
Listen, the only thing
Who's going first? Who's going first?
The only thing they got to talk about is Chris Greer, because I know my girl ain't supporting Tua. She could get them other guys and debate them about
Greer
Tua.
debate. You guys agree on
this? Is a Greer. This is a Greer thing.
Greer.
Anybody who wants to debate Tua, you can miss me with that debate.
Greer,
I'll never do that again.
You know what? Because Nene has.
I know Nene ain't that person.
Because she is the main Greer besides Greg. She is the main Christopher Aloysius. Like, let her start, and then you two rebut and go that way. Jake, you can referee.
Listen,
all right.
All I know is they don't want no part of me because I'm a master debater.
This is what I'm saying.
Master debater. Go ahead, Nate.
If we get started, let me know when I can take off.
You take off, sis. Go ahead.
Go. You guys can handle it. You guys can.
I've already told y'all why my mindset is the way it is. I don't want to consistently spend hours and hours and nights and days waking up on Spaces, YouTube, crying about Tua, crying about McDaniel, crying about Flores. You know, CB said I do a lot of crying, but the fan base has done a lot of crying. And it's the consistent reason why. If you got somebody that continuously puts you in a position, right? It's not by coincidence that Christopher Aloysius Greer III has been here for 20 years, and that is the same timeline the last time we won a doggone game, a playoff game. First of all, CB, I ain't landing shit. I paid my money to come up here. You welcome to drop your bag and be a man and come up here and have an adult conversation and not be doing your little trolling in the comments, because when they were tearing you up and bagging you up and putting you in your body bag on Twitter, I ain't say 2 words to it. So stay out of it. Back to my debate about
cook them. He only had one argument.
You already know how I am.
His argument is dead. CB83's argument is dead.
This is over, bro.
I don't know what the that giant turkey got to say. We know that he is candid.
Y'all should know me by now. I know the love. I love the Lord, but these hands still work. So don't come over here, because we'll resurrect you from dead and bury you like they did you on Twitter yesterday for flip-flopping, for liking Tua, not liking Tua. So stay out of this. But back to my debate about Christopher Aloysius. My whole thing is, I've said what his tactics are. He'll get you these big names. So then you'll go on these soliloquies about, oh, you like when he got Tyreek Hill. Oh, you like when he got Ramsey, right? Because that distracts you from the overall problem. When we look at what's going on, right, whether we win, lose, or draw, our financial situation is trash. And this gentleman had a proper reset. He had draft picks and he had cash, and he squandered it all. He overpaid Baker. He overpaid Albar. In some cases, he may have overpaid Tyreek Hill, depending on who you ask in Kansas City, on why he didn't get the bag in Kansas City. And we felt fooled for it and paid him, because apparently he has a history of drops. He has a history of leadership issues, and we went ahead and paid him. Why? Because fans like names that they know. You go out there and buy the jerseys for some of the people that's on here for hours and hours, being not just the lawyer, the counselor, the wife, the maid, the garbage man. They doing everything but whiting their booty hole for some of these people that they worship, that Christopher Aloysius the third.
Nene,
hold on now. I paid my $20. I paid my $20.
Nene, but it's not about paying $20. It's about having a conversation. You're up here with 2 other people. It's just not the Nene show to hear you talk, right?
But that's why I asked. We gotta be able.
But again, you gotta
talk and then intervene, or is it gonna be step by step?
All right, well, land the plane and then let Lewis rebut it.
We gotta be able to interject and talk about your points, though, Nene.
Okay, right? That's fine with me. I said what I had to say.
Okay, well, what I'm gonna rebut, right, is you make it seem like it's a Chris Greer problem because we're paying players. That's an NFL league problem. You don't think that other players or other players in the league are getting paid? You don't think other players in this league, general managers, have to overpay sometimes to get players in the building? I mean, if we're going to, again, Daniel Jones, right? And I'm not trying to make it about a Tua thing. I'm trying to stay on the general managers. But Daniel Jones got paid $45 million a year coming off a season where he threw 15 touchdowns. 15! That's an overpay. You know what I'm saying? That's the job. Sometimes you got to do it. We come out here and we make it seem like that's just a Chris Greer problem. Like Chris Greer is the only general manager in the world having to overpay for a player. That's what the league is. You have to spend money, and you're not going to hit everything. Everything you do, you're not going to hit a home run. Last year, all I heard was the Philadelphia Eagles were the best team ever created. Howie Roseman is the greatest general manager ever created in the league. That same Philadelphia team with all the same players, the same offensive line, the same quarterback, the same wide receivers. They just lost 6 out of their 7 and just got bounced out in the first round. Are we thinking about firing Howie Roseman now? Now is that the man can't coach now, or the man can't be, he's not a good general manager, Nene?
So here's are you done so I can rebuttal it? Because I got some points to your
Absolutely.
point. My thing is, why do we always use this as an argument about what somebody else did? I don't care nothing about what these other teams do. I care about the Miami Dolphins. Just because other people make bad decisions, that doesn't give you a pass for making bad decisions for this team. What I am saying, this guy had a perfect reset, and he squandered it to where we now -41. -41. It didn't matter if we won, lost, or draw. We don't know how we're going to keep these players on the payroll. And he mismanaged the funds because he did have to overpay. If he was a good negotiator, like how I was a good recruiter, I could sell fire in heaven. That's how good I was. Apparently, he can't close. Just like he said in his presser, if you watched it yesterday, is that he did not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 times and couldn't close a person that he drafted. Why? Because look how he talks. I said it before. He is a crab that has brought down this organization for 20 years, and it's easier to blame Mike McDaniel. It's easy to blame Flores. It's easy to blame every person under the sun. Tua, the offensive line, the injuries, right? And we still failing to look at the person that hired them. I don't know how you conduct business, but I don't go after the workers when my food is bad. Maybe the first time, maybe the second time. But if I keep getting my damn order wrong, I'm going after the manager. I am going after leadership. And we keep going round and round in this circle of what we should do, coming up with cap space. He is the one that's responsible for cap space, not me. And I land my point to that rebuttal.
Everybody in the league is going through cap hell. And let's be specific, Nene. When you're talking about, he sat up there and just talked about a player that he went 4 times to the table. What player is that, Nene? Let's talk about that player. What player is that, Nene?
What I'm saying to you, Louis.
No. What I'm asking
you want me to
is
answer
what
the question?
player?
I'm gonna answer it.
What?
Why
no,
do you have to
I just need the player's name. I don't need a big answer. I need that player's name.
But the big answer don't do what everybody else do wrong.
No. You said, your words, not mine. You said Chris Greer sat up there and said he went to the table with a certain player 4 times and he couldn't close. I'm asking you, Nene, a specific question. Name me that player that you're talking about.
Christian Wilkins.
And Christian Wilkins, the same people in this chat that we talk about all the time, killing Tua Tagovailoa for not showing up in these big games. This Christian Wilkins, name me the big game where he has showed up. Name me the big game where he's done anything. And
Buffalo.
that same guy, Nene, no. Larry, hey, with all due respect, Larry, the man had 1 tackle and a sack. Don't sit here and make it seem like he did anything. The man
I approve that message, Louis. I approve that message.
Hold up, the Buffalo game.
The
game when the division was on the line is when he showed up.
No. What did he do, Anthony?
Man, what do you mean? He got us the ball back and got us the opportunity to go up the field single-handedly. No help.
Okay, so in a 60-minute game, we're going to pay a guy $25 million for 1 tackle.
No, for the whole season. But you asked if he showed up in a big game. He did.
You asked when he showed up in the big game. I just told you.
Come on now.
The most important game of the season, where we wouldn't have been in that negative weather, he showed up. And another thing is, y'all was saying
I'm answering your question. I'm not saying to get paid. You asked the question.
Hold up, y'all was saying when does he get sacks? Bro, he had 9-10 sacks this year. 9-10 sacks.
Bro, it's not just the numbers either. Like, that's why I don't care about the numbers with Tua. I'm staying consistent. It's not like I'm a number infatuated person. The dude showed
we talking
up
about,
in the film, bro.
But ain't we talking about the numbers with paying players? Ain't that numbers?
No, I'm not.
Well, I'm just saying numbers is for the
It's
players.
funny.
Though.
It's funny when it comes to Christian Wilkins. You drool over the stats, but when it comes to Tua, it's big games.
Exactly. Right.
I say both, bro. Not me. I don't drool over stats. I think Christian Wilkins had a good
No,
game.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to this guy right here.
Well,
and it doesn't always show up when you're stuffing the run well, bro. He stuffed the run against KC. Pacheco, my dude from Rutgers, wasn't doing anything except 2 runs.
Dude, he had, by the way, he had three. He had 3 group. He had 3 group tackles, 0 tackles in that game. And by the way, and a pass and a roughing the passer call. They screwed up everything. So,
hey, can I ask a question?
The Kansas City Chiefs game.
This Kansas City game.
0 solo tackles in the Kansas City Chiefs game.
So listen, we got a whole bunch of guys off the couch, right? We got nobody.
Christian Wilkins ain't off the couch.
On Christian Wilkins,
dude. Christian Wilkins is behind. Those guys are behind Christian Wilkins.
Hey,
listen,
yeah, exactly.
They don't have to worry about.
Thank you.
Hey, Ant, let me ask you a question, Ant. Right, and I'm glad Nene's up here, right? Because the original conversation was about Christopher Greer, and he overpays everybody, right? He's the biggest mistake that mankind has ever created. Well, check this out. The player that we're talking about paying $25+ million to in Christian Wilkins, Christopher Greer paid the guy right next to him $10 million less, and that boy gave you better production than Christian Wilkins did. Is that a good move? Was that a good move by Chris Greer? Was signing Zach Seiler to $10 million less than what Christian Wilkins is asking for when Seiler gave you better production on the field? Was that a good move by Chris Greer?
I'm gonna take myself back out and continue. That you landed your point. I'm gonna take myself.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this to that, Nate. Pardon me. If we don't bring back Christian Wilkins, you're gonna see how good Seiler is next year. And then you're going to regret giving him that money because he benefits from Christian. That's why he gets the way he gets.
Christian Wilkins, the best 2 years.
And the only way we'll know is if Christian Wilkins don't come back. Then you will see when he has to get it from the mud like Christian has to do. When it's everybody on him and he has to do everything, then we'll see if Seiler is even anywhere near the level because this guy's way below Christian Wilkins' talent level. Man.
Well,
Anthony, big time.
Well,
that's
Anthony,
like me and you get into a fight. I'm fighting 2 or 3 big dudes, and you knock out the small one, and I'm getting worked over here. And they say, "Oh boy, you saw Luke stood his pain against them 4 people, man. Lucci was getting whooped." That's what you're gonna see. That's what you're gonna see if Christian Wilkins leaves.
Well, Ant, don't worry about that because if I knocked out the smaller dude, I would be right there with you fighting the bigger dude. So don't worry about it.
You'll be like Wilkins when he has to pick his helmet up off the ground and chase the quarterback down after getting double team. Right? That's what Wilkins do.
Well, Ant, check this. No.
That's cap.
Ant,
that's not cap. That's a cold fact.
That's not cap.
Check this out, though, Ant. Right? The last 2 years was when the last 2 years is when Christian Wilkins got really, really productive. Right? The last 2 years. You know why that is? Because Zach Seiler got next to him. So this argument that Christian Wilkins makes.
I disagree with you though. That the last 2 years. I don't agree with that.
Go look at Christian Wilkins' first 3 years without Zach Seiler next to him, and then go look at the next 2 years with Zach Seiler next to him. You tell me. So that argument again, I think it's wrong, or it's not even wrong. I think it's just unfair. Because the same argument we're trying to make that Christian Wilkins makes Zach Seiler, okay, cool. But on the same token, Zach Seiler also makes Christian Wilkins. He does. That's just a fact, bro. It's just a fact. Go look at it. This is Christian Wilkins' 5th year. Look at the first 3 years without Seiler. Look at the last 2 with him. And you tell me which years you want of Christian Wilkins.
Listen, I know he's progressed every single year with or without Seiler. The man has Tua Tagovailoa progressed every single year? No, he has not.
What?
Absolutely not. Anthony, he's regressed. Listen, he's This is
From
what
year
happened
1
to
to year
Tua.
4, Anthony, he's regressed.
He's regressed.
From year
100%.
1, from year 1 to year 2
Bro,
of Tua
I'm
to
watching.
this year, he
Listen,
regressed.
yes, I'm watching football. I'm not watching numbers. I'm watching production on the field. Tua's rookie
You think
year.
so? You think he was better in his rookie and his second season than he was?
100%. Absolutely. Absolutely. The
I
guy
don't
was
know, bro.
extending plays. Listen, man. Tua was that guy his rookie season, man. Listen, Tua's damaged goods, bro. Once he got all them concussions, man, Tua shook up. Tua's nervous. Tua didn't have that scary play when he came in as a rookie. He would extend plays. He'd move around. Tua was, man, listen, I was sold on Tua his rookie season. You couldn't tell me we didn't get the right guy. Admittedly, after he got them concussions, that's it. That's it. And anybody who thinks different, you're wrong. Yo, he played that vaunted LA Rams defense his rookie season and didn't get shook up and ran in extended plays and threw the ball on the run and was hitting his targets. Just go back and watch his rookie season games. The only thing I didn't like about that is how Flores would take him out when he was struggling.
Wait.
Fitzpatrick come in because you got to let him go through them hard times so he can figure it out.
Wait. You talking about that Rams team when Tua played that the defense scored 2 defensive touchdowns and I think had another turnover?
Absolutely. That game.
And we won that game because of Tua?
Did I say we won because of Tua? Is that what I said?
You saying he was playing well. Bro, I don't even think he
played
100
well.
yards in that game.
He played well against a vaunted defense, right?
And he didn't
against
do
the
anything.
Rams team. Hold up. Against a Rams team that had a struggling offense. And Agba, if I may mention, who Nene Clown that we gave him money, had a hell of a game that game. Matter of fact, had a hell of a season that season. We had a pretty good defense. We had some guys on defense that was playing like some monsters that season. And that Rams offense may have been struggling, but that defense was still the Rams defense. Aaron Donald was still there. Tua was making it happen. That's all I asked about Tua this season.
I
Just
think
be
the man
that guy. Just don't
I think the man threw for under 100 yards that game.
Bro,
I think the man had 9. Bro, listen, the man had 94 yards passing, Ant. What do you want me to watch?
Listen what I'm telling you. Go watch the game. And you have my phone number and tell me afterwards.
The man threw for 94 yards. What do you want me to watch? That's what I'm saying.
Listen to me. This is all I've been asking the Tua. You can have a game like that. You can have it. But there's certain things that you ain't going to see in those games where he really does things that matter, that helped us win that game. Huge things that you won't see. Kind of like the opposite of what happened with Dallas with them little 293 yards. That shit was trash. He did everything but almost cost us the game against Dallas. But you see them 293, you got guys that'll say, yo, man, you see he had all these yards. Bro, the one touchdown pass he threw, Mostert just made a great catch. It was a terrible pass. He didn't throw picks that game is all he did against Dallas. But with the Rams, man, he was moving and shaking and baking. He did a lot of other stuff besides what reflect on his passing yards. It's just cold facts, bro, against a really good defense.
This is crazy. This is crazy.
Go back and watch it. I'm telling you.
No,
the Arizona Cardinals game is another highlight of his career of mine.
That's fine. And in that same season, he got benched 3 times because the man wasn't playing well. There is no way in hell we're gonna say in year 1 and year 2 was better for Tua than years 3 and 4. This is absolutely crazy talk. If you're trying to tell me that Tua was better in year 1 and year 2 than he was last year and this year.
Yeah, absolutely. Because he'll extend plays. That alone makes him better. He wasn't laying down. He extend plays. This is what it is.
All right.
Am I saying Tua is the guy who you look who you're talking to? I don't believe in Tua. Get rid of him. He can't win the big game. But what I'm saying is His rookie season was his best season. That's all I'm saying. That's it. His playability, he had more to bring to the table his rookie season. He did more than just throw the ball. That's it. You give, and I believe this, you give him the team that we have right now, his rookie season, we went farther than we went this season.
Shake money. Shake, if you're back there, Shake, and you're by your computer, can someone please tell me the rushing yards Tua Tagovailoa had his first season and his second season? Can someone please tell?
Yeah, he had more rushing yards in the second season. I brought that up.
Okay.
Oh, okay. How many yards though? I'm trying to figure out how many yards in the entire season or the games that he played. How many rushing yards did he have in those seasons?
I'm looking it up right now.
Thank you, Shake. Because I'm just saying, bro. Listen, Tua's never been the most mobile guy. Now, can he get out of the pocket and make some plays? Yeah, absolutely. I think he can.
Absolutely not. Nowadays, he can't.
Well. Again, you see, but this is. I don't think.
But this is when you say he's doing better, and this is my whole argument, Lou. Because if you want to talk his second year,
didn't he have 2 rushing first downs against Kansas City in the game on Saturday?
Oh God, don't do that.
I'm just asking you the question. Did he not have 2 rushing first downs in the game?
He might have. He might have. Bro.
Okay. So that's what I'm saying. So he did. He did. It's not that he might have. He did. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What I'm saying, bro, he was better this year. It's not even close. That he was way better this year than he was his first and second year. Hold on.
All right, here we go. 2020, he had 109. 2021, he had 128. 22, he had 70. And then this year, he had 74.
Okay, pardon me. He had 17, 18 more yards. Wow, bro. That was a killer point you made. Come on, it's the same.
What I'm saying.
He had the same amount of rushing yards his first and second. And if anything, he played.
What I'm saying. Absolutely.
He played way more games in his second. And he barely had any more rushing yards.
What I'm saying is he's not a mobile guy. But I'm not saying it was a great point. What I'm saying is he's not here to rush the ball. He's not that kind of guy.
We're making it sound like at one point he was good enough to extend plays. Is my point? I'm not saying he's a Lamar Jackson
now, and he can do it now. And is what I'm saying.
And when did he do it this season, Lou? Minus the 2 first downs he ran for in Kansas City. I'll give you that.
No.
Hey,
but don't say
minus. Why do we have to?
Why do we have to
say in there, Shake, give me that.
He said 74 yards, I think, this season. 74.
Was that? I thought that was his third season. Was it this 74?
No, 76, I think, last year, 74, something like that.
Last year. This year, yeah. I'll be damned if he had 70 this year. I'll be surprised.
Yeah.
I'll leave the studio right now if he had 70 rushing yards this year.
Yeah, Shake just said he had 74 yards.
He had 70.
Even 70, I want to leave the studio.
Yeah, and he had it. That's what I'm saying.
20 of them was against Kansas City.
He had 74. Okay. He had 74 rushing yards.
74 yards this year.
74.
35 carries for 74 yards. He averaged 2.1 a carry.
And that's 2.1
a carry. And we listen, a large amount of them came to Kansas City game that you're bringing up. He had the 2 rushes for first downs because those was 2 okay runs. In 17 or 16 games, my guy had 50 yards rushing. That's not extending plays.
But that's not, but 106 yards is not extending plays neither.
Yes, it is when you look at the games that he did it in. But listen, when you look at the games he did it in, I'm telling you, bro, when you look at the games he did it in, it was in big chunks. These games he needed to do it, and he did it. This time he ain't doing it when we need it. He ain't.
Did we need it against Kansas City?
We needed it against Kansas City, 100%.
And he did.
We also needed that 2-yard pass to the left to Mostert for that first down.
And I'm not
amongst a million other things.
And I'm not debating that. I'm just debating we making it seem like his first 2 years he was Michael Vick out here extending plays, running around.
Ain't nobody said that. Nobody said
that.
We ain't making it seem like that.
We talking about Greer.
That's what I thought we were doing, Larry.
Okay,
I
let's
thought we were
go back
talking
to
about
Greer.
Greer.
My bad, Nene.
It's all
Nanny,
good.
my bad,
though. I'm
sis.
just
Go ahead.
saying.
And I'm gonna say it calm because I don't want to get the yelling. Here's my thing about Greer. I will be honest that there are names that I like. I like Jalen Ramsey. I like Tyreek Hill. I like a lot of the players on the team. But what I don't like is what I believe Greer, his concept. When he messes up on draft picks, all of a sudden here comes a name out of nowhere. And we throw some money at that name. To me, manage just because you have a bunch of money don't mean you have to mismanage it. You have to look at the future. And right now, in my opinion, this problem, right? Everybody keeps talking about again, Tua. Y'all just had a debate about whatever y'all was talking about with Tua. And now we went from, well, outside of you and a couple other people, praising Mike McDaniel to making him the enemy, which is absurd, right? But for the general manager, we want to say, oh, he's trying. How like listen to what we're saying out loud. We're blaming play calling, we're blaming play execution, but we're not holding accountable the mismanagement of this roster. And I get injuries. Injuries, I don't even want to bring injuries because injuries, no one can predict them. Even with the injury prone player, we don't know this moment this person's going to get injured, right? We can kind of assume that a person like Teron Armstead is not going to play a full season, but we can't say what games they're going to miss. What I am saying is my problem with Christopher Aloysius Greer III, there are some consistencies with his performance. And definitely after seeing that presser, it doesn't even look like he cares. He's being accountable for anything. All of the questions where I felt was valid questions about this team were condescending, sarcastic. And how dare you have this attitude when yet another season where you pitched a fraudulent window of championship, we're one and done. He has to hold some responsibility with the outcome of this team. And that's what I'm speaking to. We are sitting here scraping at the people that are employees that he hired. Like everybody talks about Tua, who drafted him? Who's getting ready to pay him all this
You're
money?
absolutely right. You're absolutely right, Nene. Now let me ask you a question. And I'm gonna get up out of here, Larry. If you're back there, thank you for letting me out. Ant, it's always a good time. Nene, you already know.
Much love, bro. I listen to you all the time on every panel, so thanks for coming through.
Hey, no, I appreciate it, Larry. And Nene, you already know how we do. But Nene, I'll leave you with this. Because I keep hearing you say, right, we go after names, right? That's what the fan base does. Well, Nene, I'm just going to, and again, I'm just going to have to come at you a little bit, right? Because I heard you use the word, we go after names, and then I heard you use the word future, right? We got to start thinking about the future. Well,
Right.
Devon A-Chain is the future of the Miami Dolphins in the running back room. We had him when we drafted him, right? After the draft, Nene, weren't you screaming at the top of your lungs that you wanted a name?
Yes,
Dalvin
I did.
Cook. You
Yes,
didn't
I
care.
did.
You didn't care about the future. You weren't caring about the future running back. And everybody would be in these spaces telling, hey, changed the real deal. Look at his tape. Look at it. You weren't trying to hear none of that. You know why, Nene? Because you wanted a name. You wanted your guy, right? So if Chris Greer would have went and got your guy, and let's say for the sake of argument, your guy would have gave you the same thing he gave the Jets, would you be killing Chris Greer for that move, Nene?
I would be killing the performance of Dalvin Cook.
Oh, so you would be on the player
And
now.
hold on. Let me
But
finish
who
it.
got that
Let me
player,
finish it.
Nene?
Let me finish it. Let me finish it.
Nene, who got
Let me
that
finish
player,
it.
Nene?
There's more
Who
to it
got that
before you start
player,
taking
Nene?
laps around the court.
Look, she's
And
biased for the Miami guy, though. That's the
if
home team.
Greer
Nene, who
overpaid
got that
him,
player, Nene? Who
no,
brought that player in, Nene?
Lewis, can I answer your question before we get to the distorted mic where nobody can hear nothing? I would get on my boy who I grew up with, so that make sure you tell the whole story. There's a reason why I have a bias toward this particular player and this family, the Cook family. Most people know I went to Miami Central High School. I wanted Willis McGahee here. I wanted the Cooks brothers here. I wanted Devontae Freeman here. I wanted all those guys here because I know them personally. Now, I would get after Cook's play, but if Christopher Aloysius Greer III overpaid him, then I'll be getting on him too. It's fair. Listen, we cannot get mad that we're 41 in the hole and we can't hold accountable the person that did it. Because no one put a gun to his head to offer some of those contracts at those. When I say the future, like at some point, somebody had to tap him. Hey, Bucko, do you know we got to play Jalen Phillips? We're gonna have to pay freaking Snowman Holland. You're gonna have to pay all these guys. Cannot play on rookie contracts forever. You're gonna eventually have to pay them. And for me, for what, and this is why I get on him, Lewis, right? And I'm gonna get to your Tyler Hero thing.
Hey, I'm out of here. I'm out of here. I'll
Yeah,
at y'all. I'm out of here.
I love you. But the reason why I get after, Christopher Aloysius Greer the third is because of his attitude. Like when now people are complaining about the offensive line, it bothers me to my soul because before downset hike happened in training camp, that man went up there with that hat and that suit, that corny sucker, and said, "You're more worried about the offensive line than I am." So when anybody cries about the offensive line, you know who I'm sitting the arrow to? The person that made the decision to not address it when the question was asked to him. Now, am I asking?
Hold on, Nate, real quick. By the way, just to be fair, Chris Greer wears that hat in the shower. Just.
The line played good though this year.
No, but and that wasn't
Even
about
banged up since they played good.
You know what happened, and you know what happened. They had a scheme, and what job? Because we respect each other. We talk back and forth off the record.
Of course.
What job can you be good at for 2.5 seconds, and that's a good job?
But hold on, now listen to me here. Now hear me out here, because you got people that say Tua gets the ball out faster than anybody, 2 whatever seconds. And then you got people who say he only had 2.5 seconds to throw it. Now, these people, if they're Tua guys and he has a good game, that's going to be the way they look at it. 2.5, fastest ever. Faster than get it out of your hand, Dan Marino. But then if he blows it because he gets happy feet and he can't get past his first read, he only had 2.5 seconds to throw the ball. You see what I'm saying? And then you look at our line, our run game was killer. 8 yards of carry for Chan. One guy in the chat said we didn't draft him to run the ball. Well, he did a pretty good job running that thing. Shoot. With the most rushing touchdowns in the history of the team and led the league. That's behind this same bad offensive line with all the injuries.
But Luchi, let's be honest to a couple of facts here. You and I both know it was only a matter of time before the good teams had figured out their scheme. And once they did, they started lighting us on fire. Because remember, a lot of these
that run average, Nate. They ain't slow down that run average. That's Mike McDaniel.
But hold on, I'm gonna tell you the truth. And I'm gonna tell the truth. Shame the devil. A lot of us already knew.
Because I've been cooking Mike McDaniel all season.
Hold on,
when he scored 70 on Denver, I cooked him for how stupid he was doing plays. And I've been calling it all year.
But see, and that goes again to where Aloysius' role is. Who's in charge of Mike McDaniel?
Okay, but listen though. But
see what I'm saying?
No. Because my refute to that is, hold on. My retort to that is he brought in Mike McDaniel specifically to try to get the best out of Tua, to see, look, we're with Tua. This is our guy. Let me bring in the best option I have who can concoct a plan for Tua. And he did. And all these, there's a couple of them, CB83, Ty Bless is in the, there's a couple of guys in here that are huge Tua supporters that'll tell you Mike McDaniel has brought the best out of Tua. They'll talk about the yards that he passed for, how he led the league in passing yards. They'll talk about everything else. You know what I'm saying? And Mike McDaniel brought that out of Tua. So,
but Ant,
when you look at it, hold on, Nate, can you agree to that? When
I
you
agree
look
with
at it from
that.
the standpoint of we got our guy that we chose for quarterback. This is the guy we're riding with. Let's bring in the best head coach who can devise a plan to help our franchise quarterbacks succeed in the best way possible, Mike McDaniel was the best option available. Who could have did a better job?
And just hear me out. Just give me 1
stealing.
minute to rebut that. I agree
Go ahead,
with
you got
everything you said, but there's also more responsibilities of Mike McDaniel outside of that, because he was hired as a head coach. So to me, yes, the Tua stuff was a part of it, but there was also other components that both of them went behind podiums this season and told the fans that their goals were. Their goals was to win the division. Their goals was to be in the AFC Championship. Their goals would be a contender. And none of those goals did I hear, even though, because I'm looking at Ty Bless comment, hello, nice to meet you. I'm Nene. I'm about to cook you. Glad to talk to you. The goal isn't just 11-6 in a first round exit. That is mismanagement. Because when I watch the Jordan Loves, when I'm watching these guys, even when I'm watching Joe Flacco out there, right? It just out there leading his team, even though they got cooked by that rookie. When I'm watching that, you're trying to tell me this best roster of 20 years can't win a playoff game, can't keep a 3-game cushion, can't win the division in your house in 70-degree weather with the Rick Ross, the Trina, the halftime show, all of that glitz and glam. What I'm telling you is
can't win the division with a 3-game lead with 5 games left.
Right, I hear you. When I'm saying all of that at some point, if Mike McDaniel is the goofball that he is to make genius, when does Greer go out there and check him? I didn't see any of that in the press conference. I saw 2 buddies sitting next to each other, grilling and cheesing and laughing after embarrassing myself. You know, when I went to school, the first thing that they said to me, man, we heard about your Dolphins. We're going to keep you in prayer. Do you know how many fans had to deal with that crap? Because we don't have the leadership that is promoting a winning environment. Getting players and putting them together is one part of it, but developing a culture of winning, holding people accountable, and that's even yourself as a leader. You saw the press conference. Was there accountability from Christopher Aloysius Greer III?
It wasn't. Would I like to see it?
And
sure.
That's why
I mean, the whole thing.
snake.
Listen, the whole thing is yeah, I get that. The whole thing was the whole press conference was just out of control. But again, I ain't gonna hold that down because there's certain stuff that I would say. There's a lot of stuff that I would say on this channel that I hadn't said all year because it's Larry's channel, and out of respect for him, I don't say it. Certain topics get broached, and I say. But it's nothing that if you could watch the video and hear what I said, and I talked to you personally, Nate, because we talk personally, and I talked to you like that, you would say, damn, that ain't how you sounded on Larry. Yeah, because that's just the way it is.
I get that. I get that.
My family in Italy, you think we're embarrassed on the world? I got a message from my family in Italy saying sorry for your loss. Like I done lost a family member. I can't even respond because Metro PCS won't let me respond to that area, whatever. So I know what you're saying. Believe me.
But here's the thing, and you don't have to be rude. You don't have to be rude with your approach. There could have been a professional way that they went about that.
I don't think so because we're tied in. This is it. Listen, if we move off Tua, and as much as it pains me to admit it, and I'd be shocked if it went otherwise, it'll be after next year. See, and if we move off of McDaniel, it'll be after this year coming up.
And I agree with that.
Right now, it's not. I mean, behind closed doors, I'm sure. I don't listen. Y'all tell me about Hard Knocks. I refuse to watch it. That's a janky ass, stupid show that takes the focus off the team and gets people distracted. Y'all talk about how much McDaniel curses on there and it's a totally different persona that you see from there. So I honestly believe the way he's talking with Chris Greer and with Stephen Ross, that it's a totally different show. But when you get up here, you got to play nice, especially with a guy like Tua. This guy's feelings get hurt. And he's a funny guy, bro, because he talked about his feelings were hurt with Flores.
I know where you're going.
You remember? But then he want to get up here when he has a good game against some trash and poke his chest out and holler about, I keep receipts and all this other old shit. But he don't have that same energy when he lose. Do we get up there and say, man, I played terrible. I let the team down. Don't do none of that.
But see, and that's all I was saying about
comedy gold,
the
Michael K.
construction of what we really should be mad about. Tua's behavior doesn't surprise me because look at Greer. Like it doesn't surprise me because it's okay. It's okay to lose. Attaboy. It's okay.
Greer did some grimy behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean
that. I'm not sold that that's Greer.
But
I feel like you ever seen the movie Sorry to Bother You with Lakeith Stansfield? You ever seen that?
I had to check it out. But
okay,
but
he spells stuff on the phone and he says use your white voice. And he talks totally different.
But here's the thing.
White voice, man. Behind the scenes, he's grimy. He tried to get Deshaun Watson. He wanted Deshaun Watson. He was shooting at Lamar. He was in on that yacht meeting with Tom Brady. But the whole time what was he saying in the public? Tua's our guy.
But see, that to
was he not saying that? Hold on, sis. Was he or was he not saying in our face, Tua's our guy?
Yes, he was.
Behind the scenes, he was doing everything but that.
But see, and you're proving my point of the toxicity of a leader. And we keep using that.
We got to do what we got to do.
No. Because at some point you got, I'm a woman, you're a man. At some point you got to have some integrity, right? And what you just described is the boss of all of these players to the star saying one thing in front of his face, but behind his back recruiting his replacement. That's part of the problem. That's what I'm trying to say. There is other problems outside of injuries. There's other problems. And if people just calm down, because what's happening is kind of like what happened in Spaces, and even in this moment, everybody starts screaming and yelling that we're not paying attention to what's actually going on in front of our face. We just lost another playoff game to where Detroit, the dregs of America, the dregs of football, are now in a position where they have a record outside of what we have. They have a playoff now. And you want to know why? Look at the coach. Look at Dan Campbell. Look how he carries himself. Look at the leadership, how they carried themselves in those drafts. They didn't get caught up in no funny business like we did. And people, for some reason, I don't want to say the wrong word here because I respect Larry, but I'm just going to use the word. I'm going to use the word mentality. It's easy to have the mentality to blame this group and not look at owners. That's in everything. Why do you think when big things happen to people, the owners always get a slap on the wrist? But the employees that work for that organization, they do the same thing. They're going to drag them in the mud. It's a amount of class. My thing is, Greer, they had the opportunity to do this right. But now it seems like we're 5 steps backwards than we was just a couple of months ago. That Tennessee game changed everything. And it's insane. One game, we don't even know what this team is going to look like next year. And even if we bring back Tua, how much of the actual pie of our finances is he going to hold? We're not going to be able to keep all of these players that have earned the right to be in Miami. That's all I'm saying. And I just got to end this here because I know Larry probably got other things to do. Yes, I will call for Tyler Hero to get traded every single day of my life. I want him out of Miami. Absolutely. But I love my Pat Riley because you know what? One thing Pat Riley has done, he has changed the culture. I've been a fan ever since I was in Pampers. We went from being on Channel 33, those that's from Miami know what I'm saying, before UPN, to every national broadcast because Pat Riley installed something. He brought good character guys in his organization, and he made sure he put a standard. I don't see a standard with this team. The only standard I see.
Hold on. Because I'm gonna say this real quick before you, because I know you're gonna cut off. Has the Godfather, Pat Riley, has he been levied for doing things he ain't supposed to be doing? Has he cost the team some money? Has he cost the team some things due to going outside the lines of the rules? Yes or no?
No. They made rules and said
no. That's not true.
What is it? What did he do? Was he on the boat with LeBron doing free agency?
Yes.
Or Wade
tampering.
Was recruiting them?
What do you mean tampering?
No, Wade was recruiting them.
Go look it up. No. Tampering with LeBron. Look it up. He cost us.
But Larry, thank you.
Everybody does. It's a fact. You can look that up. I know I'm right. It's a fact.
But listen,
like Larry said, some people just know how to do it better. And,
I agree
our
with
guy's
that. But
kinda goofy, and he doesn't know how to
one
slide.
thing that Pat Riley did in his first year, we were able to get to the playoff round, and we had steps to success. I wasn't waiting another decade to get a playoff win. I ain't getting younger, you know. But thank you, Larry, for letting me cook on here
Hey, thanks.
and actually cooking in the comments. Boy, there's just a lot of barbecue right now. And y'all have a blessed day.
That's what happened. You laid it down. You put it down. You want it back on. We got you back on, Nene. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. All right, fellas. This was another epic show, man. The season's winding down, but this content and this community keeps on chugging, man. Lucci, thanks for being a good sport doing the debate there. Nene, thanks. Lewis, thank you. Crypto, thank you. Lakers, everybody who came up today. Mounty, my dude, who has cool spaces and Twitter going on too, man. Everybody who popped up, man, thank you for joining us. Everybody in the comments, thank you for joining us. If you guys still have not clicked subscribe, I really don't know what the hell you're waiting for. That's the easiest thing you could do to support this channel if you like this content, is hit the subscribe button. It takes a millisecond.
Listen,
yeah,
Miss Spence, you're wrong. I know what I'm talking about. Look it up. Pat Riley cost the team money with talks to LeBron. He went outside the guidelines. God bless you. I don't know you. You're wrong. Nice try.
And everybody, listen to Carrie D. Become a member of the channel. I'm going to have a little something, just a little video for the members later this week. Join. It helps the channel a lot. It's not going to break the bank. Join. You're supporting this channel. You're helping a lot. You're helping us put on this content. And for me to slog through this offseason, man, it's going to be fun. And you're helping to support me in doing that and support us in doing that and bringing you new content as well. We're going to be in discussions about new content. So much love to everybody out there. Thank you and continue to support. I'm going to leave the floor to these guys if you got last words, man.
Yeah, one thing I'm like I said this morning on Miss Fan's channel, which I was misquoted. I said, look, I heard I was playing Grand Theft Auto 4, and I heard one of the protagonists say, you could pick the game, but you can't pick the rules. At the end of the day, I say this. At the end of the day, I was saying, look, everybody thinks that boycotting the not going to tickets isn't going to change. Is going to change something. Ross has F1 Formula Racing, tennis. So and secondly, we're in the AFC East. So all our division opponents that have that are living in South Florida with us. So if then, just like that nightmare I had in Buffalo, week 18, surrounded by Buffalo fans, it's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? So ticket sales for him ain't gonna be nothing. So at the end of the day, I said, look, the only choice the fans really have is who they root for. So that's it. If you don't like the team, you know what I mean? It is what it is. That's the only choice we have.
I hear you, bro. Lucci, anything? Right. You said a lot tonight anyway.
Yeah, man. God bless you. I don't want to take up any more of your time.
Later, my brother. Great. I don't know if GG's still in there. I don't know what he's up to.
Hey, Horace, everybody. Let me just say thank you to everybody in the chat. That's what matters the most, man. All you guys are cool, man.
For sure.
I always show up, especially the Bills. See, that's what I'm rooting for, the Bills to win, man. I want to see these guys. We had 3 Bills fans. I know
that.
They don't come over here. They break balls. Especially Michael K. This guy shows up, super chats. He's a member. And this guy's a diehard Buffalo weirdo when he comes and supports my guy Larry K and shakes. So, you know, I want to see a guy like that win, you know, because he puts
like I said, man,
his pride and comes. And you guys, we're talking football. We're talking real life. He comes and supports the channel, puts money in my guys, and he ain't even a Dolphins fan. You know what I'm saying? So that to me it's bigger than football. Like Larry said on his show yesterday, man. It's the camaraderie. It's a pretty cool thing, man. You too, Michael K. And we're dead in the water. The Dolphins are dead. That's it. So I want to see the guys like that. And my friend who's a diehard, I want to see them happy. You know, screw football.
Oh man. Ultimately. By the way, like I said, like I told you before, if somebody had my mom hostage and say, listen, the only way he's gonna live if the Bills got to win the Super Bowl, I'm like, Mom, it was a good run. Love you.
You're crazy. You guys are all crazy. I love you guys. I love you.
Look at Shake's little Dolphins thing is all falling off the wall. That's the epitome of
true,
our
it is.
season. Look
Symbolic
how
of the
that
season.
is.
This guy's out of his mind.
That
out
is
here.
really how our season is. Like
Oh my
it's
God.
just
Exactly.
Oh my God. See you guys later. Good night.
I know you heard me on the radio flexing. She loved the sound of my voice, it's the best thing. Daydreaming of the jazz all day. Pick up the phone late night with Larry K. I know you heard me on the radio flexing. She loved the sound of my voice, it's the best thing. Daydreaming of the jazz all day.